know what I mean?
Well, we're live. Yeah, I thought we to go fun.
Send Angina the link.
Right.
Might be a long wait. Maybe a waste of time.
No, do that.
I'm waiting. How's that those charging?
No idea. Jump on, check that we're live. Either.
You what?
No, I was just double checking that we were actually live at there. Wait and see when getting going.
Eh?
I said wait and see if anybody comes on.
Right. What's that noise in the background?
What noise?
Like a kind of.
The bathroom light.
All right. I'm turning off. I'm too comfy.
Sleeping it?
I'm going.
Good.
You have froze.
You have me froze.
I froze here.
Yeah, you've no froze at my end.
My screen's froze. I'll need to
Really?
move it back in. Oh, there
Right.
you go. And Gina says she'll maybe come in a bit.
Okay.
He's making curry.
Smashing. Still nobody in. You might need to start singing or something.
It's answering on Gina. I might need what?
Start singing.
Aye, okay. That will not be happening. Not this side of Jalemba.
What?
Maybe on the 37th of July.
Whatever that is.
Mhm.
I'm sharing this link on the YouTube.
Don't sing.
I'm not. I don't know where I went there.
I don't know. But you're back. That's the main thing.
Yeah.
Still a zero.
Yep. It's definitely showing up on YouTube, mind you. So. I thought maybe after today's shenanigans it wasn't going to show up. But no, it's showing up, so I don't know. Do it? No.
Well, at least we're no Bart.
True.
So how long will it take to do the videos and send them to Luna?
Do you? Oh, I got them. No long. There was three people watching
Just now.
just now, yeah.
Good stuff. Good evening, folks. Thanks for joining us. It's a wee unexpected live. I don't know if you know, we were at Greyfriars today, this afternoon. Sarah, myself, and Drew's Parallel Walk came with us. We were at the Mackenzie tomb with an endoscope camera. There's a hole outside the tomb, and we put the camera down to see what we could see underneath the ground floor. When you look inside the Mackenzie tomb, you can see there's a grate on the floor to the right hand side, but we were trying to see what's actually underneath it, and we thought we got an endoscope camera. We thought it's the best idea for it. We were about 20 minutes into doing it, and I got a message saying that YouTube had pulled the video. Basically, we received an email a wee while later. After YouTube pulled the first video, we went live again, and pulled that one as well. So we got an email saying that the videos had been flagged up to them for inappropriate content or some kind of infringement. So we decided to do this live just to basically say that we don't understand why. There was nothing offensive on it. It was just a normal live, and we have emailed YouTube back just to find out exactly what we did wrong, if anything. But the point is, they says it was flagged up to them. So I might be wrong in saying this, but I think somebody didn't like the video we were doing and has reported this to YouTube for whatever reason. Lord knows. But it's not going to put us off. We will be getting back. It's just actually made us more determined to keep doing what we're doing. We got some footage of the Mackenzie tomb, and once it's been edited and looked at and screenshot, we'll be putting it up. So Sarah was with me, and it was her that received the email from YouTube, and I'll let her tell you the rest. Sarah. Sarah. For some reason, Sarah's froze. This has happened a couple of times tonight. But as I was saying, YouTube pulled the video and we don't have a clue why. The first video we done, our young daughter said hello in it. So at first we thought maybe it's because she was in it. But the second video, she wasn't in it. And that get pulled as well. And it's the first time we've done it, and we're a relatively new team, we're a relatively new group, so we're still finding our feet, and we're kind of disappointed that this has happened. No doubt it's happened to many other people in the past, but we just wanted to make it, just wanted to let everybody know that as far as we're concerned, we never done anything wrong. We've not broken any laws. We never broke in anywhere. The hole at the side of Mackenzie Tomb has been there for quite some time now. We don't know, if we think it's a grate or some kind that's been removed, not by us. And so we've been there several times, and we've used that part of the tomb for investigations before. And but this time, YouTube decided to take offence to it, or someone outside of YouTube's not like the idea, or we really don't know. We're kind of stumped as to why they would report us for it. But it was Sarah that read the email. I don't know if it's just a standard email that YouTube sends out. This is the first time it's ever happened to us. But Sarah will go over the contents of the email.
The email basically just says there's only one person watching, Scott, do you know that? The email says your video, Greyfriars, was flagged to us for review. So it was flagged. I think it was flagged. I'm not sure how the process works exactly.
But to us, being flagged to them, I would interpret that as somebody's reported it, but who knows? But it was just a quick live, just to say that we're disappointed with it, not happy about it. As I say, no doubt it's not the first time it's happened to people, and we hope it won't happen again to us. We're waiting the reply coming back for YouTube to maybe they'll tell us exactly where we went wrong or where somebody took offence. Who knows? But that's about it, folks. Just a quick live, and thanks for watching. I don't know if Sarah's got anything more to add to it.
No, tonight was just a general come on, talk about what happened today in a general chat, but for the looks of it, there's two others. Sheriff?
How are you doing, Sheriff? How are you today? Hope you're well. We're just talking there about what happened at Greyfriars this afternoon. About the first two videos that we did getting pulled by YouTube. I don't know. Sorry, first three videos. My apologies. I thought it was just two. I don't know your thoughts on it. As I said, it's first time it's happened to us. I don't know if it's happened to yourself or not. Maybe in the past with videos. We certainly would like to know, people's views on it. If it's a regular thing that YouTube do. There's Dobby. Hi, Dobby. How are you? I hope you're well, Dobby.
We'll give it a couple of minutes, guys, and then we'll restart the story so that you know what's happening.
How's your days been, Dobby and Sheriff?
You're looking confused, Scott. Oh, we've lost Scott. Scott's away. Scott's away. Hello, Drew. I don't know where Scott's went. He's back. It's just like magic.
I don't know. It disappeared there for some reason.
I know you were there 1 minute and then you just vanished.
That's what happened. But as Chris would say, it's the spirits. Dobie's had a busy day. Oh, there's Drew in as well. Hi, Drew. I don't know if Drew wants to join in the chat or not.
We're going to explain in a minute, Dobie, once the chat fills up a bit. Because we have explained it, but then we realised that there's only one person watching. So we'll wait a couple of minutes, wait till it fills up a bit, and then we'll explain today's
events.
Events.
Well, mishap. You could say it's a mishap. You know, it's kind of. Oh, hi, Willie. I hope you enjoyed your curry. Because a disappointing mishap. Maybe just put it down to experience, you know.
You're welcome, Dobie.
Sheriff, I've been listening and I haven't experienced that. YouTube has gotten a little nutty. I know I get on lives with friends and get knocked off and can't get, excuse me, can't get back in.
Dobie, say hello. Sit in my knee then. Don't chew my wire. Sorry, folks, I've got a cat that's annoying. He's only a baby.
We've done videos, etc. Over the last couple of weeks. This is the first time we'd actually. We don't know whether it's because of what we were doing, you know, but as I say, we weren't breaking any laws, you know. The park cars open to the public, and the hole that we were using was already there. We never broke in. So Drew saying the curry's not ready, waiting on the rice. Well, just turn it up a wee bit, turn the heat up. Sorry, Sheriff. So as I say, as we weren't breaking any laws, but for some reason somebody's took offence at the videos. I don't know if you've seen any of it. We got a couple of good. Well, we think a couple of good captures. The light wasn't great. We had the light on the end of the endoscope, and we attached a torch to it as well with electrical tape. It was actually a tent pole we were using because we couldn't think of anything else long enough and maybe sturdy enough to hold the camera and the torch. So we were using them. The light wasn't great, but we picked up what we think was one of the caskets. And also we think there's two levels underneath the actual tomb. The first level down is where the caskets are. The bottom level is where they just basically dump bodies, probably mostly plague victims. So, you know, without any caskets, without a decent burial, they were just dumped in there. And so, but also we can't get right down the bottom level. So we think we got the stairs that lead down to the bottom level and a casket. We might have got some orbs or images, we don't know. We need to still go over the footage. Luna's going to go over it as well. We're going to send her the videos, and she's going to have a wee look through and see if she can see anything. You know yourself, it's usually after the investigation. That's when you tend to notice things when you're sitting looking through or listening. That's when things get kind of picked up. So occasionally, I think you'll hear or see it there and then, but I think the majority of the time it's afterwards that you actually see anything that you've got. But we're
okay, honey.
Dobie's still there.
Right, on you go then. Sorry, I'm talking to my wee girl. She's in the hall.
She sneaked out of bed. But no, Dobie, just to go over what happened, we were at Greyfriars this afternoon, with the endoscope camera, and we were 20 minutes into filming it, and the video, first 3 videos we done, got pulled by YouTube. They says it's for inappropriate content. We've no idea what we've done wrong. Our wee one was in the first video, so at first we thought, well, because, you know, she was saying hello on the camera. But the next 2, she wasn't in it, and they pulled they 2 as well. So we've sent away, we've emailed YouTube to maybe give us a better explanation, because we're more or less just in the dark about it. We don't know. As I said to Sheriff and I said earlier on, we've not broken any laws. We didn't break into anywhere. So we're at a loss to, you know, what's happened. I know it's happened to plenty of other teams in the past. Their videos have been taken off and people have had strikes, etc. But we were really looking forward to this afternoon, simply because we had the endoscope. So it was a kind of big thing for us, and being a relatively new team as well. We were really looking forward to it, and so we're kind of very disappointed, a bit angry that it happened. And it probably won't be the first, probably won't be the last time it happened. Sorry, but it does kind of. But it's not going to put us off. We're going to keep giving back and back, time and time again. Just makes you more determined, I think, when your videos get pulled for no reason. It just makes you want to get straight back out and do it again. To say we don't know, we're kind of at a loss, but we'd like to know any views or comments. Sheriff says that YouTube has been a bit nutty of late. I don't know if that's got anything to do with it.
Yeah. Hey guys, I'll be 2 seconds. I need to go and fix Miami.
4-year-old was in bed. Obviously, she's not. So just waiting Sarah coming back. But just when we're waiting on Sarah coming back, she's back and I don't know what she's doing. Folks, I really don't know what she's doing. I'm in the bedroom out the way, so I'm safe. So has anybody got any investigations or anything planned for the weekend, or anything exciting coming on? I know Chris, Age of Darkness, he was meant to go live tonight, but he's still got a migraine, so he cancelled that. But one tomorrow night, I think it's at 10 o'clock with Ghost to Ghost, where I'll be on. I'm not sure, I think Sarah will be on as well. I don't know, I'm not too sure who else is coming on. So we always look forward to a Saturday night. Saturday night is usually a good one. Just our 4-year-old seems to be causing a wee bit of hassle tonight. Not wanting to go to sleep. I think Sarah will be back with us in a wee minute. But I don't really understand the workings of YouTube. I've always been just, I'll look a video up and that's it. I've never understood the copyright and the terms and conditions, because I never actually bother reading them. I don't know if anybody else reads them, but I know I don't actually bother reading them. So I was quite surprised when the email came through, and they don't really tell you very much. Thanks. So this should share Sarah back. Let's Sarah back. But I'll let Sarah tell you her views on it.
Views on what?
The videos getting pulled.
Oh, aye, that's
on YouTube's whole way of working.
It's just weird. There was 5 lives, I think, I done, and 3 of them get flagged. And it says that the videos were flagged to them. So, I don't know. That's a shame, Dobby. Don't know if you can see the chat spot.
That's what we have to do to get a ride out. So you say I can't see the chat. Oh, I used to hate taking the car for its MOT. It was like a visit to the dentist and what have you. You were always dreading when the mechanic came back out with the the big bit of paper. And it was just the tension and the stress of waiting has, it's failed or it's passed. If it passed, you were kind of doing cartwheels out the door, and if it failed, then the next bit was how much is it going to cost to get it fixed. So I know exactly what you mean, though, but it's like somebody sticks a pin in you and just deflates you. The True Parallel blog saying, yes, it's Drew will be on tomorrow night with Tarot, and I'll be there too with Tarot and or Spirit Box. So I think it means either one or the other. So Drew will be on tomorrow night. I think that's about 10 o'clock. We're hoping to maybe get a guest speaker on as well. Hi there, Kerry. Good to have you here. It was just a quick live we were doing tonight. You were on Drew's. Drew always does. I really like Drew's channel. Drew's a good friend of ours, and we always watch our tarot cards and our spirit boxes. So we were on last night, and she's quite funny. She can talk, but she knows that she can talk. And I don't mean that in a bad way. She's a bit of a chatterbox in a good way. I'm not putting her down by any means. But no, she's a great friend. She knows her stuff. She's quite clever. She knows what she's talking about. So I think some people just pick up these cards and just start reading them. But Drew knows what she's talking about. So what do you think, folks? Do you think YouTube should? I'm not just talking about our videos. I'm talking about in general. Do you think YouTube should be able just to pull videos without warning, or do you think you should be warned first and then? See, I don't know. Sarah knows more about YouTube than me. Oh, there's Frankie back. Hi, Frankie. How you doing?
I've put the link in the chat if anybody wants to jump on. Come chat with us. Feel free to click the link and pop on.
Frankie, I had another look at the picture sent of the tree, and there is quite a few. I didn't really notice it at first, and but after I sat and studied it and stared at it, then I noticed the faces that you were talking about, and it's quite freaky, quite eerie. It's kind of mixed up energy you get from the tree. Some good, some negative. But really, if you get any more photographs, feel free to send them so we can have a look. Always interested in your pictures and videos. Always interested. They always talk saying no, they should contact Chan. I think they should. I think you should. They should. Kerry, Chatterbox, Rennie, or Rennie. I hope I'm pronouncing that right, Kerry. You should be warned. That's your hard work content. No one should take your videos down. No, I do. You're spot on. As is Dobie, because we'd organised this. We've been looking forward to it, and then and as you say, people's hard work. People got to make arrangements to go and go places, travelling time, etc. Setting stuff up, and then to actually take the time to put a live together or a video together just for somebody just to whip it away from you without warning. It kind of sucks, as they say, and that's the politest way I can actually put it. I'm not on here to rant and rave, but it does kind of grind your gears a wee bit. Especially we've been running for about 20 minutes, and then I got a message through saying that It was actually Luna that sent me the message to say that the video had been pulled, it had been off, so we were talking to ourselves basically. Frankie's just booked tickets.
Oh, sorry, Scott, you tried to read that.
To Liverpool. Kerry is fine, and I'm Scottish also. Good stuff. I'm going for now. Catch up the next time. Love to all. Thanks very much, Kerry. We'll go on tomorrow night with Age of Darkness, Ghost to Ghost. We'll go on there. Sherrison, I think they need to put your videos back up and quit the BS. We all know that people aren't going to like what we do. YouTube need to give a warning and reason so you can correct what is wrong. Exactly, Sheriff. As you say, we all know people aren't going to like what we do. Nobody's going to agree 100% of the time with everything we do. There's going to be people out there that say, "Oh no, you know, it's disgusting what you do or disrespectful what you do." There's always going to be somebody there in the background to disagree with you, and but that's just life. Sheriff's comments away. I never caught the end of the comment.
Oh, sorry, guys. Sorry, Scott, even.
You give warning and a reason. Exactly, you do need to give, because if we don't know what we're doing wrong, but you know yourself, Sheriff, if we don't know what we're doing wrong, how can we correct it? We can't. So we just it's like everything in life, even kids. If you don't, if somebody doesn't tell you the error of your ways, then you can't mend them. So they should give you, you know, a wee email to say, well, this was wrong, or we didn't agree with this. So as you know, the next time, right, we won't do that. We'll take another direction in it, or you know, say something different. So they should, because we live and learn by our mistakes. You know, we're relatively new to. I know I'm a medium, but to the whole ghost hunting team and YouTubing and Facebook wise, we're kind of relatively new to it. So we're still finding our feet, and no doubt in the future we are going to make mistakes. Everybody does. We're all human, and there are going to be times that we're going to mess things up and you know fall over our own feet probably. But we get up and we learn. And if somebody tells us where we went wrong, then that's all the better. So I totally agree with Sheriff. It's good to know that you agree with us. See, we're not in here for a rant or to badmouth YouTube or any other teams or you know whoever. But it's good to know that we're not the only ones that think that way. We're all similar thinking, as they say. It's just sometimes it's hard when you get a big company or you know corporation or network, whatever YouTube. I don't know what Sarah, what's YouTube describe as? Is it a company, a network, or
It's a vlogging page, I think.
there's Frankie Pia for the dispute with YouTube over a music video to get down. I said to them it was my video and own the rights to it, and then put it back up. They had no legal right to take it. See, Frankie P, that's what I was wondering today as well. You know, whether they have a legal right to take, because it is, as you said, that music video was yours. The video today, excuse me, was our work, our video. So have they got the right to actually just take it away from us and not show it? Luckily, we recorded all the footage. I'm not sure if anybody was watching us live, so they might have missed what we were caught on camera. But luckily, we've Sarah recorded it. We've got it on the laptop, so we will be putting it up. And once it's up, you know, if you give it a watch, and by all means, if you can see any fault that we've maybe missed in it, then drop us an email, drop us a comment, just to let us know. We're not going to take offence. We welcome a comment if you can maybe see where we went wrong. You know, I know a lot of you out there have got more experience than we have. Excuse me. Bear with me 2 seconds. 2 seconds. sorry about that. So, they say if you give the videos a watch, and maybe there's something you've seen that we've done wrong, and that's why it was taken down. And please, do tell us. As Sheriff says, and if people don't tell you your mistakes, you're not going to learn. So, and we'd rather it came from you guys who we all love and trust, basically. Frankie P. No, there wasn't any music in it.
It was a live video that they took down.
Yeah, I'll let Sarah explain that one because she knows the ins and outs of it. Sarah's our technician, for want of a better word. There wasn't any music in it.
No, it was live because what we'd done was I'd been using the camera on the laptop, and I went live from the laptop, and I was sharing the laptop screen of what the camera was picking up, so that you could watch it the same as us at the same time, and the video got reported or whatever happened to it, and I took it down. I agree, Drew. I think it was. Obviously, we can't prove it, but I think it was somebody rather than YouTube that took it down.
Frank, I don't know if you know what we were doing. Just a quick 2-second recap, folks. Sorry. Just for Frank, in case we had an endoscope camera, and we had put it down inside the Mackenzie Tomb to try and get the footage from underneath it, and YouTube pulled the videos. Adobe Shots, with somebody who didn't like and reported it for no good reason. I think YouTube has to check it out. Anyway, I think Sarah can answer that one. She knows more about YouTube than me, Dobie.
As far as I'm aware, somebody has reported or flagged up the video, however it works, and obviously YouTube has to review it, and we've obviously reviewed it and decided that for some reason it was inappropriate or whatever. But I think it's just weird because there was like I said, there was 5 videos, 5 lives even, and 3 of them get reported, but the other 2 were totally fine, and it was all the same content. It's not as if we were doing anything different. The other ones were the exact same. We were putting the camera in the hole and stuff like that, and it's 3 out of 5 get reported. So I don't know.
This is a bit I don't understand. As I say, I thought because the first video, our daughter was in it saying hello and what have you. Thought, right, maybe that's why. But then the other video, she wasn't in it, and they still get pulled. Maybe, I mean, I put my hands up. Maybe we're making a mountain out of a molehill. Who knows? But it's annoying, and it's something we'd like to get to the bottom to know exactly where we're messed up, basically, if we have messed up. I'm not bad mouthing YouTube or I'm not putting them down. I'm just wanting to know the ins and outs, where we went wrong, if we went wrong, and how we can fix it. Because obviously doing what we do, if we're going to keep getting lives pulled for whatever reason, then it's no good to anybody. That's part of the point of doing lives, is to share what we're doing with other groups. Frank, you saying YouTube have been taking down paranormal videos as advertising companies are not liking the content of them. If you have over a certain amount of subscribers, then maybe get away with it. Also, you get malicious people who troll and report YouTube and not liking paranormal videos. That's true, Frank. It could be somebody that's just clicked on, had a wee look and thought, I don't like that, so I'm going to report it. Or as Drew says, it could just be a party pooper who's maybe just bored and just decided to, I'm going to report that because I've got nothing better to do with my time. Just now, I'd say our YouTube channel is relatively new, so as far as subscribers go, I think Sarah keeps tabs on the numbers. She tells me every day. I think it's 30, 38 or something.
I think so, I'll check it unless it's up, but I doubt. It was 38 earlier, so.
I know it's 38 subscribers, and I appreciate every single one of these. And we will build up. There you go. We've jumped up another 2. I know there's people there with hundreds. We'll get there, you know. I know some people have had their channels for years and built it up with hard work, and we'll get there as well. So we're not going anywhere. We're going to keep going back and back again. Drew said it's frustrating because it was top of the coffin, and we were trying to read it to see if it was Mackenzie or not. That's true, Drew. We know that there's at least 5, possibly 6 coffins down there.
Well, not, Sheriff.
You monetize, you can decide. Excuse my ignorance, I'm not sure what monetized means. Sarah will know better than that. But as Drew was saying about the coffins, we're sure we've seen one of the coffins, and thanks very much, Dobie. That's very much appreciated. As I say, we know there's 5 or 6 coffins down there. We know 3 of them are not of the Mackenzie family. Nobody actually knows who they are. They were put in there, I think, just because basically there was room in there at the time. So there's 3 coffins in there that don't belong to the actual Mackenzie family. But I think it was Drew or Luna says they spotted writing on the coffin we picked up on. But where we were, the lighting wasn't too great. It was kind of shining off the screen of the laptop, so I couldn't really see. And then plus, the size of the hole, we'll put up a picture on our YouTube page, the size of the hole, and you're trying to manoeuvre this 6 or 7 foot pole around and trying to look at the screen. So I've not really had a chance to look at the footage, but I definitely 100% sure I did spot the coffin, and somebody says there was writing on it, which would be interesting, as you say, Drew, to see if it is one of the actual Mackenzie. It might be the coffin of George Mackenzie himself. But I know his family were put in there as well, but we don't know who the other 3 are. But we've still got the footage on the laptop, and we'll have a wee closer look at it, and we will be posting up. Sarah's got quite a wee bit of editing to do, I think, and we will be posting it on, I don't know, it's up to Sarah whether it goes on Facebook or YouTube. I don't know how it will stand with YouTube now.
To be honest, right, you're Sheriff.
Now then,
Sheriff.
It's easier for me to tell you than just try to type everything in. What I was saying about being monetized is, I'm not monetized either, but the bigger channels are monetized, well, they can choose whether or not an advertiser goes on that particular video or not. I got a video that says that I've got a copyright, but I don't have a copyright strike for the music that's in the video. So if I was monetized, I can choose that video doesn't get ads put on it, but it would still stay on my YouTube channel.
Right. See, Sarah's the technical whiz in our team. She knows everything. I'm kind of I'm learning it just now, about the videos and the ins and outs. I'm picking it up off of Sarah and Drew and Chris from Age of Darkness. So I'm a kind of newbie, as they say, to also some of these terms. I just look at it and it just kind of goes whoosh, right over there and away kind of thing.
It does me too. some of the stuff it goes just right over my head.
Sarah says things at times, and I'll just stare at her and just just kind of nod the head. You tend to nod your head. So hurry.
I said I get a question asked to me, and I'm like, okay. So I turned to my buddy that's got all the smarts in how to work YouTube and everything. I go, do you know what he said?
So sometimes I just nod my head at the appropriate time, and hope that I've got it right. If Sarah says something, you kind of, and you just hope that you're nodding when you should be nodding, and you're not agreeing to anything. You don't want to agree to, like, buying a new sofa or something like that. Just, but there's a lot. I think there's a lot of ins and outs these days with copyright, and I think there's so much kind of red tape attached to making these videos that the slightest thing can upset somebody, and you can't do that. You can't say that. You can't put that on, and it just kind of blows your head sometimes. If you know what I mean.
How have you got your videos marked, Sarah? Have you got them marked not for kids?
Yeah.
Okay. I was going to say, because if you don't have that marked, that might could have been the problem,
No, all that's fine. I don't know, Sheriff, because like I said, there was 5 videos that we've done, 5 live videos we've done. 3 of them get reported. The other 2 I had took down myself because I thought there's no point in having 2 wee tiny short videos up that nobody's going to understand the content of them because the other ones were missing.
Right.
But to have 5 videos and 3 of them, I got an email back saying that they've been flagged to YouTube for review. I think that's just a bit suspicious, if you ask me.
Well, maybe if they've been flagged for YouTube to review, I would actually send them an email and say, there's nothing different than the rest of my live streams. So why have I been flagged? Make them tell you a reason, because they have to give a reason that they flag the video, whether it's inappropriate content or, whatever, copyright, whatever they have in their rules. But they do have to give a reason why.
I emailed them this afternoon, so hopefully we'll get an answer tomorrow.
Okay.
I mean, we never used any music over them. We never used any logos or, there was nothing like that in them. And there's Shrimp Shack. Sorry, Shrimp Shack saying hi. How you doing, young man?
How you doing?
Oh, it's Ghost Ramblers on. How you doing, Ghost Ramblers? So in the first we thought, because our daughter would have been in the first one, just saying hello, as kids tend to do. We thought, but then the other 2, she wasn't in them, and they still flagged them. So it's maybe a mountain out of a molehill, but it's annoying. It's annoying more than anything else.
One of the things that I've been noticing, and it's not like I'm in the U.S. and I see all these U.S. people that are saying, like me, trying to get their channel up there and get a lot of viewers to, be viewed and seen. But I've been noticing here lately that none of the U.S. people are getting flagged on like paranormal videos and stuff. But the UK or an area I've been seeing videos taken down by YouTube, and I'm like, dang, I was just getting ready to watch the blame thing because I saw it pop up, and I went over to it, and it says it's been removed. I'm like, well, now how is that fair? You let the U.S. pop up their paranormal videos, and then you flag somebody else's, and they're doing the same exact stuff we are.
So one person gets away with it, another person doesn't get away with it, and there's no specific reason given. But as you say, Sheriff, they should tell you, right, we flagged this video because, you know, whatever the reason might be, you know, and don't do it again. I mean, if we have made a mistake somewhere in the video, then, you know, we'll put our hands up and say, right, we're still learning, so, you know, what does it say, to err is to human or something like that. We're all still learning, and if we have made a mistake, fine. We'll put our hands up and say, right, we won't do it again. But it's just that it's the not knowing, and it's because I think also we were looking forward so much to doing. It's the first we've ever done anything like this with the endoscope down the tomb, and we were kind of really buzzing about doing it, and then it's like somebody just deflated your balloon, if that makes sense. You know, just let the air out.
That could be the reason that it got flagged. Where you actually put it inside the tomb where you could see. That could be a reason. I mean, I'm not no expert by no means, but it's just like. But I've been watching videos from everybody that's doing things, and I mean, I've seen guys like some of the crypts and stuff will have a gate on it, and they'll put their camera through and show inside, and they get away with that. So I mean, you know, so why would that be any different? You know, basically it's still a camera.
That's it. We went as far as we weren't. Start again. Sorry. As far as we're aware, we didn't break any laws. You know, we didn't break into the. I know people in the past that broke into the Mackenzie tomb. You know, that's fair enough. That's breaking the law. But as far as we didn't break any laws.
Right. Well, I mean, that's, you know, not breaking any laws, and you're doing everything by the book like you're supposed to. I don't see anything wrong with it.
And we weren't hiding what we were doing. You know, we didn't go in the middle of the night or anything like that. I mean, we were there at just about 3:30 this afternoon. Broad daylight, members of the public walking about. So it's not as if we were sneaking about in the dark trying to, you know, do anything illegal or anything. Plenty of people there watching. We're not watching, but, you know, there was plenty of people around. And we could all see the setup, and I don't know, it's kind of mind-boggling, as they say, mind-boggling.
Right. Well, I'll tell you this much: don't let it discourage you. Let it strengthen you, and go, okay, well, you're going to do this. Y'all ain't going to deflate my bubble. I'm going to keep doing it.
That's it, 100%.
But give me a reason why, so I can fix it to make the content that needs to be made.
So that's what I said earlier. It's not going to put us off. It's just going to make us more determined to keep going, because we love what we do. You know, this has just made us more determined to keep going at it. We will be going back to visit the Mackenzie tomb. I mean, Greyfriars is a place you can go time and time again. You know, it never gets boring in Greyfriars. So we will be going back, but no, it's strengthened us more than weakened us. It's certainly no put us off. Just know as Ghost Ramblers is there. I don't know if Ghost Ramblers know what happened. So just a wee 2-second recap just for the Shrimp Shack and Ghost Ramblers, because they just came in. We were at the Mackenzie tomb in Greyfriars this afternoon. We had an endoscope camera. Now there's a hole at the side of the tomb that we put the endoscope down to see what was underneath underneath the ground level. We've done about a 20-minute video, and that get pulled by YouTube, and then so we've done that. We went straight back on again, and that get pulled. We've done 3 videos, and they get pulled, but 2 of our other videos didn't. So that's basically gotten in it. YouTube pulled 3 of our videos for no apparent reason, and we were just trying to we just wanted to do a wee live just to get people's opinions and just to let people know that as far as we're aware, there wasn't any inappropriate content in it. Everything was done by the book, basically. And we just want to know everybody's thoughts, comments, opinions, if it's happened to them before, or stuff like that. That's the hole at the side of the tomb. Now, I don't know if previously there was some kind of grate or covering over it. It's obviously been removed, not by us. It's been like that for some time now. We've been to Greyfriars a few times in the past couple of weeks, and that hole's been there. So we didn't remove any coverings or anything from the tomb. But that's the hole we were trying to work with. It was a tent pole we had, about a 6-foot tent pole that we had with the camera and the torch taped to the end of it. So it wasn't the best way of working, but we got there. So it's just annoying, and it doesn't make you angry, Sheriff. And it's certainly not going to put us off. We're going to be keeping back, and we're going to be out other locations as well. We're not just going to pack up our stuff and leave. Though if it's maybe some troll out there if it is a troll out there, and I don't know, they watch this somehow, I just want to tell you, Checky, just to say them thanks for flagging up to them, and because you've just made us more determined to do what we do. I don't mean anybody's what I mean. If it is a third party somewhere who manages to see this, then I just thank them for making us more determined. There's Citizens Z in. Sorry, Sheriff, what was that?
I was telling Z howdy.
Oh, right. But no, we're going to keep going. It's just happening, but we'll keep it going.
I did my paranormal history video and used the Necrophonic app, and I'm telling you, I know what kind of work goes into making a video, whether it be just a video or a live, and that's just ridiculous. I mean, really. Come on, people. If you're a troll, quit doing stupid stuff. We're not hurting anybody.
That's it. We're not doing any harm. We're not breaking, we're not offending anybody. We're not breaking any laws. We don't cause any, we don't put anybody out of their way for us to do it. So, I agree with you, Sheriff, 100%. Just let's do what we do. It's what we enjoy. It's what we love doing, and we love sharing it with other teams, other groups, and anybody else that may be interested.
I mean, if you don't like it, don't watch it.
Well, that's it. Exactly. If you don't like our videos, then don't watch. It's simple. But like Scott said, it's honestly not going to stop us. It's gave us more determination, if anything, to actually keep going.
Next time we're going to...
That's like me shooting paranormal history videos. I have to get a permit to do that because it is a national battlefield. It's a part of our national parks and battlefields and stuff. So I have to have a permit to be able to do that.
I've not had a chance to look at any of your videos yet, Sheriff, but I will. I'll give them a wee look because I've heard you're good at what you do with the battlefield, etc. So I will be giving your videos. I say I've not had a chance yet, but I will be giving them.
Oh, that's fine. I mean, just whenever you can. I'm not in no rush. I just like doing them.
Well, that's it. That's what we're doing. We enjoy doing it, and we're going to keep at it. We've only been a team for maybe 3-4 weeks here or something like that. Not very, about a month.
Just under a month, about 3.5 weeks possibly.
I mean, I've been interested in the paranormal for many years. Many years. Even when I was a young teenager, I was fixated by death and, or horror films or kind of ghost stories and everything else, and so it's something that it's nothing. It's not exactly like a new hobby I've took up, but the ghost hunting side, the putting together a team, etc. That is new, but we will get there. Dobie Stock seems to be a lot of jealous in the paranormal community, especially down here in England. Lots of teams had their trouble in different ways. I understand what you're talking about, Dobie. A lot of jealousy. Maybe one team's doing something that one team's doing something that another team wishes they were doing, if that makes sense. Or a team's doing something that another team that kind of, well, I wish we thought of that first. And
Right.
if that, if you know what I mean, it could be jealousy. There was stocks. I missed Drew's comment there. It was good too. They're the first to do. Well, as far as I know, Drew, we are the first. We've looked on the internet about if anybody ever done it before with the endoscope down into the tomb. And as far as we know, we were the first. I'm not saying we're the world first, but as far as we know, we were the first ones to try it out and see how it went. But next time, we're just going to get back with a bigger pole and a brighter light, and we'll maybe get a better look. Could be you are getting popular. Possibly, well, hopefully, Dobie. Hopefully, they're getting jealous. Hopefully, we are getting more popular. Same as every other team, and if they're jealous, then that's their problem. We're just going to keep going, and we're going to keep sharing, and we're going to keep doing live chats. We're going to keep, doing our live videos. Nothing's going to change at all. We're all going to keep talking to each other and sharing stuff. Whether it's in the UK, America, we're going to keep at it. We're not going to hang our hat and say right good night. Because I don't understand the nasty side. Let's just have some spooky fun together. Exactly, Ghost Ramblers. I mean, there's no need to be nasty. Obviously, as I said earlier on, we're not going to please 100% of the people 100% of the time. People are going to disagree. They're going to say it's maybe. I've heard people saying that we're actually, Satan worshippers, we're disrespectful to the church, and I've heard quite a few opinions on ghost hunters basically, and there's no need. If people don't like what we do, as Sarah said and Sheriff said, don't watch, scroll by. It's very. I've seen many a thing on Facebook that I don't like, but I don't go and stick my nose in. I'll just scroll by it, and so that's it.
It's like me. I'll read what it says, and if I don't like what it says, I won't say anything. I'll just keep going.
That's it, Sheriff. Exactly. I'm in a few groups, not just paranormal, but other types of groups, and some people make comments on them, and you think, why are you even wasting your time putting that comment on? Because you don't like it. Don't comment. Just keep going. We don't. It'd be a perfect world if everybody agreed with what everybody does. But
it would be boring.
It would be boring. I like a good debate. I must say, I do like to sit down and thrash something out. I don't mean fighting and stuff, but I like a good civilized debate. And
a good chinwag. That's all it is. A good chinwag. No,
that's it.
Have a chat about it and try to figure out how to fix things.
That's it. I mean, I'm in a Formula One group, and obviously there's different teams in Formula One, and we'll have debates on there. We don't like each other's teams, but we do it civilized.
Right.
We'll make fun of each other or whatever, but we do it in a good way. Oh, there's Citizens Ian. Evening, Sheriff, Deputy, whatever.
How you doing, y'all? This is Sheriff on here.
Age of Darkness is asking when's the next ghost hunting. We're actually trying to organise next weekend to camp out at Lochdoon Castle in Ayrshire. Hopefully Drew's coming along. We're going to camp out the weekend. We tried to get into it last week when down in the car, and the access road was actually getting resurfaced, so we couldn't get near it. But we're going to go down this coming week and check to make sure we can get access to it, and we can do wild camping there. So we're hoping to go down next Friday, a week today, and stay over the weekend and just investigate the whole weekend, basically. Maybe get 1 or 2 hours sleep during it, but so that should be the next one. We might get out next week, just with random locations. We're not too sure. We're going to edit the stuff we got today anyway, and the next big one will be next weekend with the camping out. Looking forward to that. I've not camped in many years, so that'll be an experience itself, going camping. So that should. But the stuff we will be putting it on our Facebook page, etc. What we're up to, where we're going. So you can keep tabs on there, and we've got Instagram now as well. We're getting there. We're taking the wee steps up day by day. Got Instagram. We've also got. I was just going to say that we've got a website as well. Sarah has all the details. She's our tech wizard, so to speak. That's my partner as well. So she's a tech wizard in the house. I can work my phone and the TV, and that's my level of technology. That's it. After that, my phone, TV. After that, I'm lost. So
in case you're wondering, this wee pest keeps annoying me, so that's why I keep fidgeting.
Ghost Ramblers, yep, we will be taking a tent. Unfortunately, the weather in Scotland doesn't really permit you to sleep under the stars, as they say. Up here, it's a wee bit brisk at night, so we will be taking our tent with us. I don't think I'm brave enough to, even though it's July, the temperature's not went up very much. But there's Citizen Z, and he's Drew Paranormal. Well, he says he'll come with fishing rods. That's fine. I'll be taking the swim shorts with me anyway. Be going in for a wee dip, hopefully. If the temperature goes above 10 or 12 degrees, I'll be in there. I won't be videoing it. There'll be no video, but I'll still get in the water, you know what I mean? So Citizen Z, have you do you know what happened today?
I heard that you kept on getting cut off.
Yeah. No, you're an Edinburgh man, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, and with the endoscope camera down have you seen the hole at the side of the tomb?
Yeah, I've been in there.
So we the endoscope camera down as far as we could go, and for some reason they flagged up the videos and took them off. So I don't know if you can shed any light on maybe why. I mean, as far as we're aware, we weren't breaking any laws or doing anything.
I'll be back in a second, folks.
So can you shed any light? Dobie, I'm the same as internet phones. So Dobie and I are both together. We're no good with tech stuff, basically. So sorry, Citizen, can you shed any light on maybe where we went wrong with the tomb? If there is some kind of law against it or whatever?
No, I think you had the T word. It just was trying to put you off. That was all it was.
Probably think, well, if it is a T word, then they've just made us more determined because we'll be going back with a bigger pole and a brighter light the next time.
Don't let them worry you. I've had that quite a few times as well. I just keep going back and saying, you just kind of knock me off.
That's what I said earlier on, no doubt it's happened to many people in the past. And it'll keep happening. It's just Because it's our first time, we were just curious just to see why. And I think because of what we were doing, we were sort of hyped up because of what we were doing. We were kind of disappointed when the video got pulled, if that makes sense.
How many times did it actually get pulled? Did it?
We done 5 videos and 3 get pulled.
Whoa.
The first video, as I've said to the other guys it's on and girls it's on, sorry. The first video, our daughter, she's 4 years old, she was wanting to say hello and what have you. So she was saying hello into the camera and that. So at first we thought it was because the wee one was in it, but the next 2, she wasn't in them. It was just strictly what we were doing.
As long as an adult with a child, they can't pull that either for that.
Well, both their mum, Sarah's her mum, I'm her dad, you know, Sarah's my partner.
Yes,
we were both there.
Pulled that.
So it was just, but we're getting a few comments and they're all appreciated. And some there's Drew's Paranormal Vlog saying, yeah, it's just jealousy, Scott. You have to keep going and do it again. If it doesn't go against guidelines, that's exactly what we're going to be doing. And Sheriff totally agrees with us as well, I think. You just keep going. And
keep going.
I'm like,
I mean, I've got hundreds of keywords all the time. It's constantly always trying to put me down or bad comments on my videos. But this didn't worry me.
No,
you're going to do that anyway, so.
Well, that's it. If you let the first one get to you and you give up, then what's the point?
It's because they got a buzz off you doing it and thinking, oh, you're going to get up, and they're thinking, yeah, I won just by doing some fun.
I think we're on the same frame of mind here. I think we're all,
I read all my comments, and if I get a bad one, I'm still going to be nice to the person. It don't matter to me. I mean, it's just a comment. It just goes to show they took their time out to say something bad about me. Well, I'm going to be nice to them and say, well, I really appreciate your comment. Maybe I can change something to make it please you. Something like that,
Well, that's true. That's true.
Sorry. I just keep on saying bring more and more and more because then I'll just get monetized quicker. So thanks, trolls.
Right.
There's Ghost Rambler saying, I haven't done a live on YouTube before ever, so I don't know why. Maybe do you think a jealous team reporting you? Possibly Ghost Ramblers could be. It says the Sheriff. Possibly somebody's because we kind of started doing the endoscope and they never. And they've took the huff, basically, took the hump and thought, no, I'm just going to try and throw a spanner in the works.
I'll keep an eye on if anybody tries to do that at Greyfriar, because then I ken who it was then.
I don't know. Really, I don't know. It's kind of, I'm angry in a way, but in another way, I'm not bothered because it's just strengthened my resolve, if that's the right saying. Just strengthened it to go out there and do even more. If we didn't have the wee one, I think I'd be jumping in the car out just now with Sarah and going back again. You know what I mean?
Just make yourself more determined to keep doing it.
Well, that's what we're doing. We're still going to we're out 2-3 times a week, as much as we, as much as is feasible, and we're still going to be doing it. We've got stuff kind of lined up, and we're going to carry on. We're not going to do.
When's the next time you're back up in Edinburgh?
We don't have anything planned. We just kind of just wake up in the morning and decide, basically.
We just kind of jump in the car and go.
I'm going to put up another place in Edinburgh, apart from Greyfriars. That one you can check it up.
All right.
I can't see it.
That's a good one because it's still most of the equipment's still there and it's still a real working place. The other part has been abandoned. You can actually go into that place.
That was going to be my next question. So you can actually get into it.
There is quite a lot of videos up in YT. I kind of can't see the channel names, but if you have a look at it, you'll actually see what it's like. And
we do go out quite a bit looking for locations. We do go out on road trips looking for different. We were out last week round about Ayrshire where we live, and the problem we're finding is just getting access to some of these places. You know, they're high fences or they're all because of what's going on just now. I know we can't mention about just what's going on worldwide. Basically, it's because I think everybody's in the same boat trying to get access to places. But we are still on the hunt for location. But I don't know what one you put up, Citizens, because I can't see.
Well, it's in private chat, so I think
I'll tell you later.
Oh, right. That's fine. That's fine. I'll catch that later on. Dobby Stock saying, is there any haunted locations out in Pennycook? Honestly, we don't know, Dobby.
That's one thing I've learned is never give out any locations you're doing because you never know it could get vandalised when it goes on videos.
Aye, no, I get what you mean. Pennycook, I've got no idea, Dobby. You can always check it out. As I say, we did say, I think it was last week, we said if anybody's got any locations that they'd like to see investigated, just drop us a wee private mail and we can certainly have a look. Pennycook, I've never actually thought of Pennycook, so it could be one to have a wee look into. I've been there a couple of times, but it was delivering to shops and stuff, and I was there and straight back out again, basically. But we could certainly have a wee look at Pennycook. There's just that many places, as it probably there is in America, Sheriff, as well. There's probably hundreds and hundreds of different locations.
Yeah, and I mean, some of the people that I watch, I mean, they've actually been put in jail, for trespassing when there wasn't a fine one there. Just somebody had reported them to the owner of the property. The owner of the property said, well, I want to prosecute because they're trespassing. Well, now everybody's scared to try to do videos at these haunted locations or paranormal locations, and they just don't want to go because, they're afraid they're going to be put in jail. Now they've all started, they've wised up and like, okay, well, we'll contact the property owner and we'll ask and get permission before we go. So now it's a big deal over here. Everybody's asking permission to do things. Like I said, you can't, like in the battlefield where I went, you can't shoot video without having a permit. I mean, you literally have to pay for a permit to do that.
I don't think we have that over here. No, that I've heard it. I've never heard it. I know some places we've emailed one location up here. We tried to get into it last week, but it was bought over by a new owner. So we had to email the new owner. We're waiting to hear back to see if we can get in, but that's all fenced off, and I think they're turning it into some kind of hotel or something. Sarah's got more details than me. I think so we've emailed the owner of that location to see if we can get in there. It's just, actually, I like kind of cemeteries, castle ruins, places like that. And there is some here that's easily accessible. But in some of the castles here, we were at a location in Ayrshire the other I went there last week, and I got in during the day, and I found a tunnel. Now, I never took a torch or anything with me, so I could only go so far in the tunnel, but we went back last week, and at night time, maybe tea time, at 5, 6 o'clock, something like that, and I had the torch, and I was all geared up, ready to go, and the whole place was locked up, and it was like a 6-7 foot fence all around it, and I thought, I'm not climbing that. If I was younger, I'd probably give it a go just to climb over, because I'm determined to get back into that tunnel, because I want to know where it goes, basically. But I've not heard of anything over here. Maybe Citizen knows it, might need permits or anybody else is watching. But I know you mean
Well, I
it's
didn't
putting paranormal off.
or council property, so
I know some landowners here don't look, don't take lightly to you. If there's a castle or something on their property, they don't take lightly to you. Maybe going in to have a wee look around. But I think getting permits, as you say, Sheriff, it's putting a lot of paranormal teams off, which is understandable. Nobody wants to end up in prison,
And I only paid $50 for the permit. I mean, it's not that expensive, and I can shoot there and video as much as I want. So
Sheriff,
I mean,
either they put the permit up there because that city doesn't believe in ghosts, and that's why they're putting permits up there so they doesn't bring paranormal into that area. That's why they try to put people off.
Which, I mean, that's fine, but I was like, well, okay, if that's what I have to do, let's go to the office, let's get a permit, and let's pay for it. I'm going to do it. I mean, I know the reason behind it, is not just that, but it's also they don't want vandalism on the monument and the message boards that are there that tell you what's going on. I completely understand that, and I'm 100% will pay that money just so that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Just Ghost Ramblers came up with they can't wait to do so much. Same here, Ghost Ramblers. We're definitely going to have to get something organised and all get together for a big investigation. I think that would be really, really, excuse me, really, really good. We get back to the vandalism bit, Sheriff. I know you thought there's a lot of cemeteries over here. Like say, I've seen some, and there's a cemetery in Edinburgh, not Greyfriars, another one. I've been in there a couple of times, and gravestones have been kicked over and stuff like that, and it's just, it's disgusting, really, why people want to vandalise a place like that. And 9 times out of 10, it's young ones that are doing it.
Not only disgusting, but it's disrespectful.
Exactly, it is. It's disrespectful to, whoever's resting there. They don't have any respect for them at all. Toby Stocks saying there's a lovely Abbey ruins about 20 minutes away from me. You can walk around the outside without permission, but the ruins are English heritage. You walk around without permission. So we've got an abbey here. We were there last week, and you can walk around, but there's a fence. But I found a smaller bit of the fence, and I must confess, I climbed the fence because there was nobody about, and I thought, it's an abbey. I've passed it many, many times, and I've always wanted to go in. So when we were out and about last week in Ayrshire, I stopped the car and I thought, I'm going to take the camera and I'm going over the fence basically. It's in the middle of nowhere, so I didn't think there was much chance of me getting caught. Which gladly I didn't. But I don't know if I've got that footage up on YouTube.
It's on YouTube, and I think it might be on Facebook. It's definitely on YouTube, but I don't know about Facebook.
But sometimes, excuse me, I think sometimes the temptation's too great. If you see a nice place, you think I'm going to get in there. I'm going to go in for 5 minutes. It's always 5 minutes. You say, right, I'll go in for 5 minutes, but you end up in there a lot more than 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Times. Today we were in Greyfriars for about 3 hours, something like that, 3.5 hours, and we didn't even realise how much time had passed because you just totally you get that wrapped up in what you're doing, you just totally lose track of time. And no doubt it's the same for everybody else. And Sheriff, I know you do a lot of battlefields, and I'm surmised you spend quite a bit of time in each one.
I did my last, like my last video. I was using the Necrophonic app, and I didn't realize that I had well over 30 minutes of nothing but just the Necrophonic app. I was like, holy smokes, man. I just lost track of time. I was like, man, that was cool. And of course I added a little bit onto the front of the video just showing some different things, you know, that I get to see that most people may not get to see.
I know exactly what you mean. A couple of weeks ago, we go to Edinburgh quite a wee bit. We do. I love Edinburgh. I think it's amazing. The first time I walked around this particular cemetery, and I thought I'd only done about five or so minutes to walk around, but it's like 23 minutes or something. Once I look back at the video, it was like 23, and excuse me, it didn't seem like 23 minutes, you know, because you get that absorbed in what you're doing, and the time just disappears.
I did one history video, and I think I was in the battlefield probably 4 hours, 5 hours, and just didn't realize it. I was just moving around spot to spot and was, you know, taking video footage and, you know, snapping. Next thing I know, you know, it's 4 hours later, I'm like, dadgum.
I've done that. I've been to Greyfriars numerous dozens of times here. Anytime I went to Edinburgh myself, it's a place that I've always been drawn to. And one time I went, and there's benches in the churchyard you can sit. And one day I was sitting, and I sat there for about 3 hours, and I didn't even realise till I looked at my phone, and then looked at the time, and I was like, I need to move. I've been here for about 3 hours, and the time just. I wasn't investigating or anything. I was just sitting, I don't know, in a day. It's just, you know, people watching, looking all around, and it was like 3 hours. And then I looked at my phone and thought, you know, beep, beep. I need to move. I've been sitting here for 3 hours in the same spot. You know what I mean? So you get very absorbed in it, and time just doesn't matter. Time just sort of disappears, you know. You find that, Citizen, as well? Sometimes you think it's only like 20 minutes and it's like 2 hours.
I've even seen it jumping up to like 4 hours quite quick as well.
You get that absorbed in it. Plus, I think it's the whole atmosphere and the feeling that you get. It's like being in another world. You just totally switch off, you know. Sherry, have you ever done?
Sorry, do you get a feeling of something's going to happen as soon as you want to finish? You just want to keep on constant recording?
Sometimes I'll get a feeling that that something's not going to happen, but something's there with you. As you and I are both mediums, you get a feeling that something's there, and when you think it's time to kind of wrap it up, you don't want to wrap it up because you're wanting to keep going and going, just, you know, because you want to know if, you know, that spirit's going to do something or say so, you know. And so I've get that feel quite a few times. You say, I need to go, but I don't want to go because this spirit's still here, and it's curiosity, I'd say, more than anything, to keep going. I hate it when we need to wrap up an investigation or a video, because I could do it for hours and hours. You know, I'd do it every day. If it was feasible, I'd do it every day at different locations. But Sheriff, have you ever done Gettysburg? Is it Berg or Burke?
Actually, I didn't have a chance to. We visited, but I didn't have a chance to do any investigating because we were there for my mom and daughter. They were having meetings of clubs that they were members of, and so we really didn't have a lot of time to actually go and do anything like that. But I did get to get around there and see a lot of it. I actually stood on the spot where President Lincoln gave the Gettysburg Address.
I've seen documentaries on it. I've seen, you know, lots of pictures on it, and I think just even the atmosphere of the place would be incredible.
Oh, just, it was. It was absolutely awesome. I mean, one of the good things is we drove through the battlefield real slow, and just being there and thinking, having you're in mindset of thinking, men died here and fought here, and how close they were to each other when they were firing, and where the cannons were placed, and I'm like, this is unreal. And you could just, like you said, you can just get lost in it. I guarantee you, we drove through the battlefield and we spent at least 3 hours driving through. And the battlefield's not that big.
You never thought of using trigger objects, Sheriff?
No, I hadn't thought about that. I may try that on the next video. Trying to trigger objects
or money. It's like something like the war people would know, because sometimes trigger objects can give you good responses as well.
My son actually bought me a replica cavalryman sword that they used in the Civil War. So I may try taking that with me next time and see if that works.
Okay. Yeah, that would definitely be a good idea.
When you go, you don't feel like you're being taken back in time? If you're in a kind of bubble.
It was cool because you could I was actually sitting there and hearing gunfire and cannon fire, and my camera actually caught it. I was like, oh, this is great. Now I've got something that people can hear, that what I was hearing when I was sitting there. And in one part of it, I heard soldiers marching around me. I mean, I could hear it just as plain as day, but I don't know if the camera caught it.
See, that's the thing, is if you can hear it, but then where the camera, sometimes it works the other way, you don't hear it, but the camera hears it. So it's a kind of two-sided coin. Another place I'd love to go and investigate, might sound silly, but I'm a big Elvis fan, and I would love to go to Graceland and do an investigation there.
One of the guys that I watch, he actually went to Michael Jackson's house, not the big ranch, but his actual house that he had, and communicated with him out in the street through the necrophonic.
Wow.
That's the house that's in the middle of nowhere, isn't it? Michael Jackson.
The Neverland Ranch is, yeah. But he did it at his actual house. His actual house, and they're surrounded by like 4 or 5 different houses right there in that one little area. And he wanted to go to Neverland and do it, but the security kept running him off.
That would be, I think that would be an amazing thing to do. As I say, also, I'd love to go to Graceland and try. I mean, it's never going to happen, and I don't even know if any kind of American teams would be allowed to actually go in and do one there. But I'd love to see the results if one was done there. That's the other thing with the paranormal. Is a lot of people think about the paranormal and ghost hunting teams and think, it's got to be old castles, old graveyards, old shut down asylums, hospitals, prisons, places like that. But there's spirit everywhere. I mean, even in as we call them over here, council houses. I don't know what the American term. Just normal houses. Residential houses, there's that many different locations, but people just have this view that, you're a ghost hunter, so you need to go to an old castle. It could be anywhere, a working school, a community centre, anywhere really.
There's people past, there is people living.
It's like I've always heard, is it doesn't matter if a place is haunted. It don't matter whether it's old, whether it's new. It's the land itself. If it's haunted, then it's haunted. There ain't nothing you can do about it. you know, it's just going to be that way. And it don't matter what time you go, you could still catch something, because if it's haunted, it's going to be haunted in the daytime as well at night.
That's how the spirits attach themselves to the land.
Yeah.
Yeah, and as you say, as a lot of other people have the misconception that I mean, this is just my opinions. They have this misconception that it's only at night time that a place gets haunted. You know, and during the day it's totally fine. But you know, as you said, Sheriff, if it's haunted, it's haunted. It's 24/7. You know, the spirits don't go somewhere else during the day and then come back at night time.
Right.
They don't say, right, I'm going home for a couple of hours and then I'm going to come back at night. You know, they're there constantly. But I know a lot of people do have the misconception that it's only at night time. That's how we go. We also go out during the day. As I say, a lot of people think ghost hunting teams can only go out at night. To me, no. You can pick up during the day just as easy as you can at night. I think the nighttime bit comes from, okay, nighttime there's less distractions at nighttime. You know, so maybe less people maybe less people walking about, maybe less traffic. You know, can be a number of things. There's a lot less distractions at nighttime. But we both know we all know that's really not the case. Dobby Stokes asking Sheriff, have you ever visited Salem?
No, I haven't. My first paranormal video was just this last weekend. So I mean, I've been into it a lot longer than just this last weekend, but that was my first actual video, and actually exploring the paranormal side of things. And so I'm going to try to get to more places. Salem would be an actual good place to do it. Another good place is Fall Rivers, Massachusetts, where the Lizzie Borden house.
I was just going to ask you about the Lizzie Borden, that house as well. The Axe House or something it's called, isn't it?
They actually turned it into a bed and breakfast, so you can actually stay in the rooms and stuff. So that would be kind of interesting. My mother has traced our family back to the Borden family, and come to find out we're kin to them.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
So that's kind of crazy.
My daughter
took a kick out of telling everybody.
That's kind of freaky to realise you're actually related way back to them. It's Paranormal Video saying hello, evening to you.
Right.
Hope you're well.
Paranormal voice, Scott. Paranormal voice. Paranormal voice.
Sorry, my apologies. Paranormal voice. I thought it said video. My apologies. Paranormal voice. Evening to you. Hope you're well. Lizzie's sister's. Drew saying Lizzie's sister's house too is more haunted.
Actually, Drew, Lizzie's sister actually lived with Lizzie in a whole another complete house. After everything was said and done, they actually moved from the Borden house to another house, which there's been teams there too, but the people that own the property don't really want the ghost hunters and paranormal people coming there to stir up bad entities.
There's murders in that house before
Lizzie
killed her dad.
It was her aunt that actually done it, or her great aunt, I think, that actually tried to kill all three of her kids. Two of them she succeeded, and she killed herself, but the other one lived.
I've popped it on my list, so I'll have a wee look, because I'm not familiar with it, but I'll have a wee research on it, and we can always talk about it one night on Parapole, which is a Monday. 9 o'clock, Scott, innit?
9 p.m. on a Monday. There's Luna in. Hello, Luna. Hope you're good.
I just woke her up, so they're coming over just now.
Parapol's on a Monday, 9 p.m. I don't know if you're familiar with it, Sheriff. We just started it Monday there. Every week we're going to be a different topic every week. We'll be asking a question and just getting people's views, comments, opinions on it. Last Monday we did mediums. It was our first ever live that we'd done, believe it or not, and it actually went a lot better and a lot smoother than we thought it would. So this coming Monday, it's on the Pendle Hill, the Witches. I don't know if you're familiar with it. I guess it could be compared to Salem, you know, kind of the UK's version of Salem, Pendle Hill Witches, which was a witch hunt, 1600s, I believe it was. So we're doing that on Monday. But I've always been, America's always fascinated me for the amount of years. I mean, you've got Amityville as well. That's always kind of been one of my favourites as well. With the DeFeos and the Lutzes and what happened to the house afterwards.
Right.
I don't know if you get any knowledge on that one. I think it was, is it Long Island or something it was called? Where Amityville is.
I can't. Oh man, my brain don't want to work. I don't think I know about that one, that particular one.
Yeah, Scott, you were right. It's on the south shore of Long Island, New York.
I knew it was long something. I knew it was long something. So, Jared, do you think, you know, the American view on the paranormal is similar to the UK view? You know, what people sort of think about it. I'm always interested.
There are some people that do think about it, that are interested in it, but that's about as far as it goes. You know, they don't have inkling to go see it or try to find it or anything like that. They just like, man, okay. It's like a friend of mine. He is totally skeptic and does not believe it is true. And he watched my video and he said, "Oh, that's just a load of hogwash." Okay, that's your opinion.
That's I've had friends with that in the past, and or many years ago when I first started to study, because I went to see a very reliable medium. Long story short, and she told me about my daughter who passed some years before, and she told me her name, told me she'd been sitting on my knees, she told me about my dad. Everything, all the information she gave me was bang on. But I says to one of my friends, I was telling him about it the next day, and I says, you know, he says, "Oh, I don't believe in it, oh, hogwash, rubbish, you know." And I says, "Will you tell me how that woman knew about my daughter and her name?" And he says, "Oh, I don't know," and he just walked away. You know, I think people.
I can understand if you're like married, Lunar Eclipse Paranormal. She said, "Now don't tell me anything. Don't say anything. Don't do anything. Just sit there." And she told me what my dad looked like. She told me about a woman that was standing beside him. And when she was all said and done, I said, "All right, you ready to see a picture?" So I showed her my tattoo that I've got on my chest from for my dad. And she said, "Oh my God, that's exactly who I saw." I said, "I know it is because you described him to the T almost." But she was talking about the mother that was in the picture, that was there with him, right here in my house. And I actually told her, I said, well, I'm going to get a picture and show you. It's one of my favorite pictures of all time. And I showed her the picture, and she said, that's the woman that was standing beside your dad. So how could she know all of this if it wasn't true? Because I never gave her clues. I never said a word to her, and she told me exactly everything that was going on. She actually told me that which was the lady that was standing beside my dad was my grandmother, but it was my mother's mother. And she said she actually looked down at my phone and was smiling and laughing. So, I don't know.
I always find is, I mean, I'm a medium or I've been a Greyfriars. I know quite a bit about Greyfriars. I've studied it for years, but I've been to, Age of Darkness. Chris, who does Age of Darkness, he lives in a wee village, and it was the first time I went, and I'd never been, and I'd say to him, I don't want to know anything about your village. Just, I'll find on the sat nav. I didn't do any research. I believe in going in cold to a place, and then if you go in cold, as I call it, cold, if you go in cold to a location and you can turn around and say, well, I'm getting this, I'm getting that, then it adds to the authenticity of what you're actually saying, if that makes sense. And so, with you saying you never told Luna anything, then I think that's the best way. You don't tell anybody anything and just see what you get back, if you know what I mean. And
Right.
that's, to me, that's the best way to prove it.
And
Yeah, but actually,
I'm not gonna
Nori that about not getting information if people just do it cold, so they can't say this person passed away or that name passed away. They say didn't give me any names, any places whatsoever.
Mm-hmm. The first time I went to Chris's village, we went to the local churchyard, and I was drawn down to the back corner, and I says to him, I says, it never happened in the church. I says, over there, in amongst the houses, I'm getting a male. He was beaten up, very scared, very wary, something to do with his breathing, and I could feel myself short of breath, etc. And he says, you're bang on. He says it was a male. He was attacked by, I think it was 2 or 3 individuals. He was beaten up outside his house, and he was strangled. And so as the best way is just don't. Sarah does a lot of research, but I always say to Sarah, excuse me, don't tell me anything. I don't want to know. I just want to know, where the place is, and we'll just go and take it from there, basically. To me, that's the only certain way. I mean, anybody can look up the internet, and some of these ghost shows, I'm not going to name any, but there is 1 or 2 that, they say, oh, well, our medium doesn't know where he's going, etc. And I don't believe it. I believe there's a lot of research done with these kind of things with, these individual shows. And the medium's no going in cold, but no, going cold. It's the only way to do it, because Luna's saying, right, I don't want to know ahead of time. I like to get into a place blind, not told anything, and tell them what I feel and what I see. Best way to know that you are a true blue. Exactly, Luna. Exactly, 100% agree. It's the easiest thing for anybody can stand up and say, right, excuse me, I'm a medium. I can speak to the dead. I can hear the dead. But it's easy to say. But you need to prove it. You need to actually stand up and say, right, I'm a medium, and I'll tell you this and that, and that. It's the easiest thing to fake to me in the world.
And also how to tell them that somebody may be a fake is they start asking you questions. They start getting those little hints when you're telling them certain things, and so that's how to tell a fake.
Mm-hmm. Hi, Oracle and Beyond. Hope you're well. Thanks for jumping in with us. You're very welcome. No, I know what you mean, Sheriff. I've seen it. I've watched quite a few of these shows, these platform mediums, and you'll see them. What they call fishing. They'll mention, they'll stand in front of the audience. I think I spoke about this in Parapole the other night. They'll stand in front of the audience and they'll say, "Oh, I've got a gentleman here with pain in his legs," and they'll be looking around the audience to see if anybody reacts to it. Maybe a raised eyebrow or a nod of the head, and then they'll home in on that side and they'll keep picking and picking, just adding wee comments to see the kind of reactions you get. And it's disgusting to fake it, because it gives, as I've said many times, it gives the paranormal community a bad name.
Yeah.
Because it's shit,
Even
everybody.
watched as well that they were getting information on cards before the show started. And they were getting information on earpiece through the ear.
That's the other thing. Sorry, Sarah?
I think Citizen had come on Monday and commented that they were talking about the earpieces.
There's some done that as well. The recent gig cards prior to the show, just say it's for research and information purposes, whatever. And then they'll
£20 a time to do that, and it's bad for the public.
That's it. I mean, if one person's exposed, well, I mean, you go back a couple of 100 years to when it all first started, with the Fox sisters and what have you, and then the seances started. After the spiritualist church was started up, and seances came about, but then a lot of people got in the action and thought, well, we can make a quick buck here, and they started using cheap stage tricks to make things move, create false lights, and there was the Davenport brothers and the Bangs sisters, Bangs, they were exposed as fakes for doing this, and it just shed a whole black light on the whole paranormal community. Because
using magnets underneath the table as well.
They were all cheap tricks just to, and obviously back then, we didn't have the gadgets and techniques that we have today, so there was a lot of, I don't want to speak ill, but there was a lot of gullible people back then, and they believed what they were seeing and hearing until these people were exposed. After they were exposed, then seances kind of died out. The general opinion of the paranormal was it was all fake, and then platform mediums came about. They became the kind of thing of the day, and we're still getting them today. So one fake can just ruin it for everybody, basically. Now that's just my opinion, and it's not fair.
Today, sorry, Scott, I keep over talking you, but I'm saying there's quite a lot today. They give a little bit of information and say, if you want to know more, you need to pay this much to find out more. That's when you know they're fake or not.
That's exactly, Citizen. As I said, I think I said it Monday night. We're giving this gift for nothing. It doesn't cost us anything. We're giving it for free. So why should we profit from it? Why should we profit out of somebody else's grief? You maybe get somebody who, and it might be somebody who's not got a lot of money and they want to know if their grand's okay or their parents, and you get some guy getting in as a fake saying, well, give me £50 and I'll give you messages, basically, and it's disgusting. As you say, Citizen, charging for it.
As the ones that do it with kids, because there's always parents who want to know about their kids in the afterlife, and that's the ones that always automatically get faked on.
Aye, people are. As you say, when it comes to kids, people just they'll pay whatever amount of money. Drew's Paranormal saying Scott reminds me of the YouTuber Hunting the Dead. I don't know why, but he does. Scott reminds Scott reminds. All right, I thought she was talking to me. Scott reminds me of the YouTuber hunting. I don't. I've not heard of that one, Drew. Sorry, Hunting the Dead.
Were you on the live last time, Scott, when I was talking about there are actually colleges now? It's actually you pay like $100 to try and be a psychic. Well, you're technically born with it.
There's. I don't know if I was on that one, but I know. I know what you're talking about. There's. I've obviously I can't mention any names, but there is one person I know who charges $100 per head for their class.
Yep.
And the average between 20, 25, 30 people per class. So that's like, $2,500, $3,000, which in our money would be maybe, I don't know, about £2,000, just over £2,000 roughly. So they're making maybe $2,500 to $3,000 per class. So if they're doing 2 or 3 classes a week, then it's a pretty good living for them. But I'm totally against people charging at all. The only time I say we maybe take money is if you're going to a location that's maybe quite some distance away, maybe couple hundred miles away, and they'll say, well, we'll give you money. They say, well, if you cover my fuel costs, they give you money for fuel. That money goes straight back in your tank. So you're not profiting. You're not profiting for that. If that makes sense, that's maybe. I'm not saying doubt. That's maybe the only time somebody say, right, well, cover my fuel costs, and we'll call it a day. I don't know what your views on that is.
Well, Mary knows that I helped somebody to go over a paranormal experience, and they tried to give me a donation. I says, well, I don't want a donation. Put that donation into like the partner's abuse program type thing, or the money I'm getting on my channels or on my TikTok, I'm putting it towards to do cemeteries back up again. That's like headstones that's been damaged, etc. Put it back in towards the paranormal because they've helped me. I should be helping them.
Drew's just put up a comment, and my friend just lost a boyfriend and a little brother, and she's on the phone to those text ones. It costs a fortune to say wrong. No, you're totally right, Drew. I know the ones you mean. Same as the phone call ones. They maybe charge £3 a minute and stuff like that. It's. I take it you get a lot of them and over where you are, Sheriff, as well. Do you get a lot of that going on?
They got the numbers you can call. Basically, I call it a dollar psychic. But I'm not calling none of those numbers. I'm not going to call none of those. I'm not going to text none of those numbers. I mean, that's just ridiculous. I'm not going to pay somebody to tell me. I'd rather not know. If I got to pay money, I'd just rather not know.
That's it, exactly. It's not as if you're not going to know what it is in the first place. So why would you want to pay so much money to find out something that is pointless, to be fair?
Right.
Sheriff, you should say if you've got that much important message to send me, why don't you call me rather than me phone you?
Right. It's like I had just met. I'd probably been into the chats a few times with Lunar Eclipse Paranormal, and she did it for me, and I didn't pay anything for it, but I just asked, do you or could you see anything, and tell me if you do. And she said that my dad was getting low on energy, that he couldn't speak. So I just reached out and just said, take some from me if you need it. And no more than I said that, my right shoulder got the chills. And that's when I felt him touch me. So you tell me that it's not true, and I'll tell you you're full of it.
Yeah, I mean, there is, I mean, a lot of people think, you know, I don't like using the word, but when you die, you know, it's lights out and that's it, you know, game over, darkness, and that's it. But that's, you know, that's not the case. But to have to pay somebody to tell you that, or to, as Drew says, oh, Drew's, no, 2 seconds, guys, I'll hold this up. It's a can of Coca-Cola, Drew. Tell Willie it's not a beer. Coca-Cola. The full fat stuff as well, you know. And there's the Dr. Pepper. I like Dr. Pepper, I must say. I do like Dr. Pepper as well. That's the diet stuff. Luna saying, why do that when we are free? Exactly, Luna. You know, we don't pay for the gift. There's one say I don't always pick things up, but if I do, I will give it for free always. Very, very true. You know, we don't always pick up on things. You know, at the end of the day, it's down to spirit. If they want to talk to us, it's like being in the physical. You know, if you meet somebody in the physical and you talk to them, they don't want to answer you can't force them to answer. You know, you can only go out there and look and try. If a spirit's not in a talking mood, then there's, you know, nothing you can do. What infuriates me sometimes is you get these shows that invent noises as well. You know, they'll get somebody behind the camera to throw a stone or shut a door or something, you know, for example, and say, oh, well, you know, that's also a ghost doing that. We all know it doesn't work like that. You know, if we get nothing, then we say we get nothing. We're not trying to make ourselves
like in my video. If I wouldn't have caught anything, I wouldn't have posted it. You know, I was very lucky that night that they actually decided to talk. And I was honored, you know, I was honored that it happened. I was happy as all get out. I was like, man, this has just been the best night. You know, when I got done recording and everything, I was like, this has been the best night that I've had in a while. And I was like, you know, before I even pulled out of the parking place, I told the spirits, I said, thank you for communicating with me. You know, it's been an honor to me that you actually trusted me enough to talk to me.
That's it. Trust. That's an important thing with spirit is trust. You know, Drew said it. I think Luna said it to me as well. The more you get back to a certain location, then the more the spirit will be familiar with you, and they'll be able to sense whether you're genuine, whether they can trust you, and to open up enough to you, and you know, maybe they might just give you a couple of words, or they might do something else briefly, show themselves, or maybe an orb, or you know, whatever. But you know that you nailed in the head there with the sheriff with the word trust. It is all about trust. You know, if a spirit trusts you enough, then hopefully, you know, they'll feel trusted and confident enough to come forward and, you know, maybe speak to you or show, you know, be lucky enough to show themselves.
Right.
You need to be genuine, but you know you do, and that's going back to these fakes again. I think spirit can pick up, you know, this person's not genuine, this person's a fake, etc. But no, trust is a very, very important thing. It's from spirit side and from our side as well. We spirit trusting us, we go to be able to trust them. If that makes sense. As Oracle saying, I love reading for free. It comes from the spirit guides.
As you know yourself as well, when people pass as well, they're learning a new thing on how to communicate. It's like being back a baby for them. They've got to learn how to move things. They've got to learn how to speak through devices.
That's true. You know, because it's a whole new, for want of a better word, a whole new world to them, basically.
Mhm.
You know,
Right.
and they're starting from scratch, as you say, Citizen.
Yeah.
You know, it's got a baby learning to walk again, talk. I mean, I think we've all seen that film Ghost, many years back with Patrick Swayze.
Yeah.
When another spirit's telling him you need to, I think he's trying to move a can or something. He's trying to move a coin, and so I imagine it's very much like that. The new spirit, so to speak, has got to learn these things and learn how to come through and learn
They've
how
got
to.
to learn by energy and not by an actual finger.
Yeah, exactly. They've got to learn by energy and how to get that energy. Luna's saying it was given to us as a gift, I believe, to help others, to give people who are grieving and needing to hear from their loved ones a message. It's not to abuse or use others for profit. Exactly, Luna. To say it's given to us as a gift, we didn't pay for it. I have heard the argument before that if you're good at something, then why not charge for it? But when it comes to what we do, that's not the case. For instance, if you get a lawyer, for example, who's paid, it's cost him money to go through college, university, do all the law stuff. So it's cost him money to do that. So if he's going to make a living out of it, he's going to charge for it. But with us, to say it didn't cost us anything. It was given to us as a gift. Why not pass it on? If we can pass it on, if we can bring a smile to even one person, maybe a message from our gran, our mum, whoever, if we can do that, then it makes it all worthwhile. That's the way I look at it. Even if you bring
See,
one
that's why I
smile to
love
somebody.
to do it, 'cause I love to make people smile and know the deceased is passed and happily, not just thinking about paper money to get my kicks out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Hi, now it's dark. Saying hi, now it's dark. Nice to have you along.
Hey, Jim.
Drew said something there and I missed that comment.
Hit the like, guys.
Yes, exactly. I won't charge anything for readings. It doesn't feel right. I've done it once before and felt so bad. Not exactly, Drew. It's not right to charge for it. I mean, so as you see, you've done it once before. We live and learn. We live and learn. But we know you are good because if we watch your lives with your cards, etc., and we know you're good at what you do. You certainly gave me enough readings on your cards, and they've all been near enough spot on. But no, as I say, fakes and stuff, I've no time for it. If you're going to fake it, why bother doing it? And unfortunately, the paranormal community is just rife with them. I mean, I went to see a famous medium, I'm not going to name, but I went to see him in Glasgow many years ago and paid money, and he got everything wrong, absolutely everything wrong. But he was standing right next to me. I was in an end seat, and he was going up and down the aisle sort of thing. He came up and he stood, and this guy was dripping in gold, chains, rings, the tan, everything. And I thought that's just wrong. It's just he's charging. I don't know what his fee for the night was, but I thought that you don't do it to profit, to buy yourself material things. That's not what it's about. Material things mean nothing basically when it comes to spirit, etc. There's Drew saying, I love giving them hope in life, and to the fact that we see our loved ones again. Exactly, Drew. If we can pass it on, as I said, a lot of people do believe that death is that's it, it's the final door, lights out, darkness, and if we can pass on to other people that there is something after this life, that their gran, their mother are still around, and we will see them again, and that, to me, that's what it's all about. Totally, totally agree with that. I'm just reaching for my Coca-Cola again, folks. But I'd love to hear everybody else's views on it as well. One thing I'd love to hear is who the person Drew was referring to, the ghost hunter or something, that a reminder of, because I've not got a clue who it is. You know,
Hunting the Dead.
Hunting the Dead, is that it? I'm going to have to look.
I think that was it. He does ghost hunts and paranormal stuff with the G-Team Paranormal, with Omar Gosh TV, and a couple of other ones.
Drew's just put it back up.
He does huntings with the G-Team Paranormal and stuff like that.
Right, so I take it I must look like him then. So he's obviously a good-looking dude as well. Then I take it.
Sorry, I missed that there.
I says he's obviously a good-looking guy as well. Then, if I remind Drew of him.
What's the Hunting the Dead?
The Hunting the Dead guy. That was a joke. That was a wee. Oh, you just have something similar about you, right? So where's your next investigation, Sheriff? You anything up your sleeve for us?
I'm hoping that I can go back to the battlefield, but I'm going to go to a different place in the battlefield, and actually, I'm going to try to see if I can communicate with a private that had passed away on the third day of. It was either the first day or the third day of the battle, and he is actually buried there in the battlefield. He actually has a headstone and everything.
To see if he's still wandering.
Yeah, see if he's still wandering, and see if he might by some small miracle talk to me. You know, I hope.
Well, you never know. I mean, spirits do. There's many reasons why spirits, hang about. You get the old unfinished business, theory. You've got the usual. Sorry?
That's the earthbound spirits. You've got the confused spirits, which doesn't know their past or still think they're actually living like everybody else.
Aye, they don't realise they're actually passed over.
Yeah, it's like I'm not going to say that word, but the quick D word.
And then you've got the ones that, like to, they're wary of getting into the light because they don't know what's on the other side. So they'd rather stay on this side rather than, in their minds, take the chance of stepping into the light, basically.
That's the one normally people think they're poltergeists when they're just really confused. They're too scared to go into the light.
So they feel it's safer to stay on this side, if that makes sense. And then you've also got the other spirits that stay because they feel they're still obligated. They still want to look after their family.
Yeah.
They want to stay around them, make sure they're all right. Maybe try and give them a message if possible. So that's why they're still hanging about as well. But it'd be really good, Sheriff, to see if this young soldier does come through. And
I'm going to take a trigger object with me too. I'm going to take that sword with me too, just to see, if that might help.
I think it definitely will help, Sheriff, because it'll remember them as someone that, and if any of them used to love that sword or using it all the time, it's like an automatic trigger object. They'll try and either pick it up or make it move, or.
I believe that's what I'll do this weekend. I'll take it with me and actually use it as a trigger object and just see. I mean, it doesn't hurt anything. I mean, it may cause things to go real good and crazy. Everybody, they may be a bunch of spirits that might want to come through at one time, and I have to calm them down.
That's why I always take triggered objects with me. I either take my flashy balls or I take the light up teddy, because that usually is good for kids, because that's like an automatic good responses I get from them.
Right. I didn't think about it the last time. I was just like, I was happy that I was actually going to be able to go do it. And so I didn't have my head on straight, as far as thinking about taking like trigger objects and stuff like that. I had my head on straight about what I needed to do before I started and when I finished. And make it known that they can't attach and all of that. So I had my head straight there.
In the video, you did have somebody behind you, and you probably felt there was somebody behind you, because when you were talking, you were losing the thought of speech, like you were getting the feelings of this person behind you.
Right.
Sometimes spirit can be right beside you, but they don't want to. They're more curious than anything. They don't want to make kind of contact. They don't want you to know they're there. They're just they're being nosy, basically.
Right.
And they'll follow you about and just to see what they're up to. That's the kind of feeling I get a lot in Greyfriars. That is more curiosity. I don't know about you, Citizen. I know you've been there a few times as well.
Yeah.
Numerous times. That
every time I've had a reaction from that cemetery.
Yeah, see, a lot of people have this idea of Greyfriars. I think the media's got a lot to do with it, the way it's been advertised. I mean, I'm sure everybody's familiar with the history of Greyfriars and what have you. That it's a dreadful place to go to. Don't go to Greyfriars because it's terrifying. But that's not the feeling I get when I walk in. When I walk in, I get the feeling of curiosity. The spirits are. I mean, I sense the spirits as soon as I go in, but it's more a feeling that they're standing about, for want of a better description, and they're curious as to why you're there. But they don't want to reveal themselves. I always find that a spirit can be there in the background. You can sense the spirits there in the background, but you won't pick up on anything significant about it unless they want you to. So with that behind you, Sheriff, as well, I think that's more. I could be wrong. As I always say, it's just my opinion. The spirit was just there and having a wee nosy, if you know what I mean.
Right.
I don't Liam that bad. To be honest with you, when I was in more of the prison. Sorry, Sheriff.
I was just saying, I think that goes back that maybe that spirit behind me was just wanting to see if they could trust me or not.
They're just they can be like kids sometimes. They just want to kind of play and tease sort of thing, and see. Is he going to know I'm here? Is he going to notice me, etc. But what was that about Greyfriars, Citizen? Sorry.
I says I don't find like there's much energy at the mausoleum, as all the media is saying. I find it more towards the prison area than anything else.
I think you're right. There is more energy. You can feel it as you're walking at the mausoleum. There's a certain amount of energy, but a lot of people have said, because it's George Mackenzie's tomb, and it's really, really bad and oppressive and heavy. I've never had that. As you walk towards the prison, but the history of the prison, it's not a good one at all. It's a big black mark in Scottish history, as far as I'm concerned. And so you do pick up more, because the prison was more a place of suffering and misery, torture, especially the Covenanters. and so the energy is, I feel is greater there, because I mean you're talking about at least 1,200 souls
Yeah.
were just basically dumped there and tortured there, and then everybody knows what happened to them. So
See, the way I
that's a
see it,
lot of energy.
why would George Mackenzie stay at the mausoleum? Because he's got the whole cemetery to walk about in. To me personally, I think he would go straight back to the prison, because that's what he was doing in life, so that's what he's going to remember in death as well.
That was his domain, basically. That's where he ruled, in the prison, basically. Even though he's buried in the mausoleum. But no, I do give it. I feel he's more in the prison than anywhere else.
Yeah.
Because that's where he done his deeds, basically. An evil and very, very brutal man. But I've never had the feeling of dread or anything from Greyfriars. It's always been relaxed.
Yeah.
A feeling of calm and what have you. So I've been there all different times, morning, afternoon, all different times, and I've never felt threatened once at all.
Well, that's why you've seen in my video that I was banging the door, I was shouting his name. There's even a phrase you're meant to go up and say as well up to his door. He's meant to come and attack you then. I said that phrase, still nothing happened to me at the mausoleum. It wasn't until I was really interrogating towards the prison area and I moved towards the mausoleum.
Mm-hmm. 2 seconds, says, hi there, Oracle. I just noticed you're on with us. I hope you're good.
Hi, Scott. I'm good.
Sorry, I just noticed you down the bottom corner there. My apologies. I wasn't ignoring you.
It's okay. I'm
He
pretty
talks too much. That's the problem. Scott talks far too much.
Guilty. I can. Once, I used to be nervous doing these things because I'm not used to being on the camera and what have you, but I think I'm getting more used to it. And I do tend to rabbit on a bit. So apologies for that, everyone. If I talk too much, I do apologise.
No.
That's okay.
Luna is saying the prison is where I picked up negative energy just by watching Citizen on his life. I felt sadness and pain. Exactly, Luna. I mean, the prison is. I mean, there was 1,200 Covenanters basically just dumped in there. There was no, back then it was just open fields, and so they were just put in a field basically during the winter, given meagre rations, tiny bit of bread and water every day, and they were just left with the
them actually starved to death.
Sorry?
I say someone even given water and that, because some of them actually starved to death in the history book.
Yep. The one popular thing that they used to do was throw cold water over them in the winter, which, Scottish winters, can be quite harsh at times. And, those that didn't perish from starvation, exposure, disease, they were tortured and then basically dragged round to the scaffold, so there is a lot of oppression, a lot of suffering happens. It's a very, very, it's a sad place, and these people died.
Well, remember, Greyfriars is just basically a hilly bones, because there's bones packed on each other.
That's what I was saying to Sarah today. I went down to the bottom end where the bottom gate is, and I said, this is where it started out like, and then it's just basically amount of bodies. It's hard to comprehend that you're actually what you're standing on,
Exactly.
and a lot of people have the thing, which I believe as well, you don't walk over a grave. But yourself, citizen, in Greyfriars, it's unavoidable.
Well, you could actually walk over somebody in the high street, because Greyfriars is like a swamp. Actually, the coffin that can move underneath the ground.
So it is actually unavoidable. Doesn't matter where you go. You're walking on. Excuse me, 2 seconds just to take care of this kitten.
I know that's why I had to. That's why I jumped in the bad language because the cat, I'd shut the living room door behind me and the cat had swung it open and I got a fright.
We're two kittens,
Heart attack.
and this time of night they can be quite playful, for want of a better word, you know. So one's a boy and one's a girl, and there's about a month between them, I think, roughly. So when the two of them get a wee bit hyper, they annoy the life out of you, basically. So
It was the boy cat that I had that was sitting here.
the boy, he's actually the worst. He's the smallest, but the girl one, she'll come up and she'll be lying beside. She's my shadow, basically, and she'll be lying beside me. And the wee one, he's about a third their size. He'll just come up and pounce on her, and just start battering away. So this time of night they usually start to get hyper. And that the one you can see there on the screen. That's the boy one. He's a wee brat. But sorry, we go off subject there for a wee second. I do apologise. But no, as you say, sirs, the bodies are literally everywhere. The high street as well. They're absolutely totally.
I remember the Greyfriar was actually closed down at one time because there was bad rain and bones were actually coming to the top of the surface.
Yeah. When there's really, really bad weather, bones have been known to stick out. Is a sheriff or Oracle is an American equivalent to Greyfriars? Over there, sort of.
Cassie,
Wait, what was the question?
is it equivalent to Greyfriars over in America?
Is there a Greyfriars over here?
Is there a cemetery that's equivalent to it like it though?
I don't think so at all. No, you guys have some amazing cemeteries.
I would say probably the closest thing to Greyfriars would probably be over in New Orleans.
Yeah.
In Louisiana.
Oh yeah.
I think I've seen pictures of that cemetery. I think I've seen many. I think I know the one. I can't remember the name of it, but I do know the one you're talking about. But no, you're right, Casey. We do have some remarkable cemeteries over here. I took some photographs today in Greyfriars again. Of some of the headstones and some of the tombs and that. And so when you think about the work that's been into, I made a short video today as well, where I mentioned, when you think back about, a lot of people walk about a cemetery and they'll look at the headstones or, excuse me, the tombs and think, oh, that's nice, that's beautiful. But, when you think about the work that's actually been in, when these headstones and that were actually made, the detail and what have you, and it is really quite remarkable.
Mm-hmm.
And Greyfriars is the kind of place you can go a dozen times and see something different. Great, headstone wise, tomb wise. I've been there dozens and dozens of times, and it still fascinates me every time I go. Just walk around, just looking at the different headstones and the designs and the meanings behind them and what have you. It really, really, really is. And no doubt, citizen, you feel the
beautiful.
You get the same kind of feeling.
Yeah, definitely.
From it, it's absolutely unique. Canongate as well. Canongate's another third card, which is, I don't know, about a mile away. Citizen, would you think about a mile away from?
Under that, I reckon.
I think it's about under a mile. It's not as big as Greyfriars. It's not the same amount of history. But that's an amazing place as well, I think. And the thing is, it sits right in the heart of Edinburgh. You don't need to go really hunting for them. they're right in the city centre, same as all these closes like Mary Kynes Close. I done some videos when we were there last Sunday, some of the different closes in it, and it's right in the middle of the city centre. You know, people do their normal shopping, just 5 minutes walk away from the sort of main shopping area in Edinburgh. You've got Greyfriars, you've got the Castle, you've got the Royal Mile, you've got close after close,
Yeah,
you've got the Children's Museum. You know, it really is a beautiful city, and it's just the sheer history. As in America as well. I mean, you've got many cities in America that are just steeped in history. You know, it's just layer upon layer of history.
I like Scotland. I love it.
There's a lot of history in Scotland, getting back to, you know, like the Jacobites, William Wallace, Bonnie Prince Charles, Mary Queen of Scots. I think Sarah's going to be doing is that right, Sarah? She's going to be doing a thing on Mary Queen of Scots.
Yeah. What we're going to do is on a Monday we have our para poll. So another day of the week we're going to do one, but it's going to be a history poll. So every week there'll be a different time or person from in the past. I'll tell you a bit about the background. For instance, the first one was Mary Queen of Scots. I'm not sure when, but it will be very soon. And I'll tell you a bit about her, a bit about what she's done, a bit about her life, and then you can do text. And then we'll get your opinion on it.
Okay.
Well, I've got a question.
Yep.
And this, you know who Robert the Bruce is?
Uh-huh.
He was I think he was the 17th Earl of Bruce, if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
My mom, like I said, she was into all of the genealogy and everything, trying to trace our family back to wherever, whenever that she could actually trace it. She's traced her side of our family back that far to Robert the Bruce era.
You're going back to 14th century, 1300s? 1300s or 13th century. That's quite a ways. I tried retracing my family tree, and I got maybe 10 years, and that was it. So, you know,
She done a lot of research, and she actually traced us to him, but I don't know how we go through the generations to actually get to where we're at with him.
Mm-hmm. Probably party. I'm not sure myself.
It's ever since that she had told me back in my 30s, I've wanted to go to Scotland just to see Scotland, just to go around and talk with people and meet people. I love meeting people from new places. It's just one of my things. I guess I'm kind of crazy like that, but I like meeting people from different places all over the world. It's something cool to me.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. I mean, you meet people from different, you know, parts of the globe, and you can sit and talk to them, and you know, learn about their culture, their lifestyle, their history, their paranormal history, maybe. You know, I mean, Scotland's saturated in it, basically. I mean, you know, right up the top, John O'Groats, Thurso, right down to the borders. It's just pure history everywhere you go. Robert the Bruce was quite a prominent figure in Scottish history as well as William Wallace, Bonnie Prince Charles. I mean, there's numerous. You know, you could spend a lifetime just studying the history, but the history, you know, America, I think, is just as fascinating. You know, I mean, Scotland is a beautiful country, but so is America. I mean, I've seen many films, documentaries, photographs, and there's some just places I'd love to go to the desert. There's one, Route 66. New Orleans, Memphis, New York. It's America's just covered in it as well. But there's Beth coming in saying hello. Hi Beth, hope you're well tonight. So I know what you mean, Cher. I mean, I'm originally from Glasgow, and us Glaswegians have a reputation of being. I'm not saying anything against any other Scots, but we've got kind of a reputation of being sort of the friendliest bunch, maybe. And I can sit and talk to anybody. Sarah will tell you, she's my partner. I get into it, before with the car, we took buses a lot, and there was many a time I'd get into random conversations with strangers at the bus station.
I like that.
Sarah would say to me, who's that? And I would say, I don't have a clue who it is. I just met him, and you'd be standing maybe 20, 30 minutes talking to him if you'd known him all your life. And she would say, who is this? I don't have a clue what the guy's name is. He's waiting at the bus. I'm just standing talking to him.
Last time I kept on getting asked one question: are you blue or green?
Oh, I know. Celtic or Rangers. There's Drew saying no way. Us Lanarkins. I can't even pronounce that, Drew. Sorry. No way. Us Lanarkins have. Glasgow's the friendliest place. They're citizens. I know you mean Rangers or Celtic. You see, when I've been asked that many times. When I get asked that, I just say none because I'm a Formula One fan. So after I say that, the conversation's out the window, as we say. If I'm, conversation's over. As soon as I mention Formula One, it's a case of right. Well, I'll see you after. But no, Rangers and Celtic, the old firm. They call it. It's quite fake. I don't know if you have heard about it in America, Rangers and Celtic and stuff. It's all football, but I'm not a football man at all. I have been. I've tried to get interested in it, or I believe you call it soccer over there.
Yeah.
I've tried to get interested in it. I've sat with friends and that before and watched games or matches, as they're called. I've watched them and thought, it's just not my cup of coffee. It's just does nothing for me. But no, I know what you mean, Sheriff, about meeting different people and chatting, and it's amazing the conversations you can get into with just meeting some random person, and what you can pick up from them.
Celtic. I'm getting a feeling that there's also Rangers on her side as well. I can feel that the blue colour in Drew's side as well. So she's got Rangers. I don't know. I feel, is it her partner?
Who, Drew's?
Yeah. I can
no.
Well, as Celtic there.
No, I've always Celtic. I've always Celtic. You need to ask Drew that one, citizen. I'm not.
You said Celtic, so I got something telling me that. I don't know if it's an uncle or something, but it's definitely there's Rangers towards her side as well.
I've got no idea. I've got absolutely. You've got me in that one. I've got no idea.
You just answered it.
Did you just answer it? So.
Yes, my dad was, and I was in the Orient Lodge.
Oh well, there's your answer. I just need to shut this door because I can hear the echo from the other room. I can hear my own voice in the other room. I hate the sound of my own voice. I don't know how you feel about your own voices, but I detest my voice when I hear it back. Or I can't listen to it. I really can't listen to it. That's how if I'm watching any videos we've made, I turn the volume down. I just hate the sound of my voice. You know what I mean?
I'm like that.
I love the American. Sorry?
I says I'm like that in my videos as well. People say you need to watch back, and I go, I have to listen to my own voice first then.
No. I do love the American accent.
Me too.
I do love them. I've tried it now and again, but I just sound like an idiot. So, but I do like the American accent.
As well, accent's even worse.
Is what? Sorry.
I said your Welsh accent is even worse.
All right. No, we won't. We won't go into that one. I think we'll leave my Welsh accent out of things. Thank you very
There's so
much.
many things I can say in Welsh.
We're
I love
we're
your guys'
wanting.
accent. I love it a lot.
Sorry, Casey.
I said I
Is it
love your
Casey or
guys' all. Cassie.
Cassie, sorry.
I said I love the Scottish accent.
I say a lot of people say they like the Scottish accent, but I've always hated I used to work for a company, and as part of our training, you used to get training every so many weeks, and part of it was you to listen to yourself on the phone. So you sat down with your manager, and they would play back a conversation you had on the phone to a client or whatever, and it was their longest phone call in the world. You had to sit there with earphones on, and there was no escape. You know, you had to do it. You know, you couldn't fake sickness or anything, you know, and say, no, I'm not feeling up to it this week. So you had to sit with these headphones on and listen to yourself, and that's when you realise, is that what I sound like to other people? You know, and so then I stopped talking to people after that. I just became totally unsociable. I thought that's the best way. Just don't talk to people. However, as you'll notice, I probably got the knack of talking to people back, but I still hate my own voice. I mean,
I think we all
totally.
do.
I used to thought I was a sexy hot model when I was talking until I heard my voice back and I sound like Mickey Mouse.
No, you do not. You do not.
Well, my accent comes from the southern United States. I'm in Georgia, so I'm in the South.
I like the South. I've just your name, Sheriff. Is that your real name, or is that something you made up? Buford
That
T.
is-
Could that not be Buford T. Justice?
Right. My name is actually a mixture of Buford T. Justice and Cletus from the Dukes of Hazzard.
That's who I'm getting confused with Smokey and the Bandit.
No,
Yep.
it is. It's actually from Smokey and the Bandit. The first part, Buford T, is from Smokey and the Bandit, and Cletus comes from the TV show Dukes of Hazzard.
Cletus was the deputy. He was the deputy?
Yeah, he was a deputy.
Mm-hmm. I've watched Smokey and the Bandit many, many times. Love it. Love the films. Buford T. Just see his pattern, as we say, the way he talks. It's brilliant. You know what I mean? It is how many times I watch. How much I've always liked the Snowman. The Snowman was funny with his wee one-liners.
Yeah.
So that's where you got your name from.
Yeah, it was the combination of both of the movie and that TV show. It was actually given to me for doing an independent wrestling show here in my city.
Right.
And I was what they call a color commentator. And I would just bounce off what everybody else was saying and just say smart remarks or say something funny off the wall about what they were saying, or just any kind of thing like that. And that's how my name came about.
You must get a few comments, but surely with people when you first meet them. People that don't know you.
Yeah, it's funny because even on YouTube, people pronounce it wrong, and I don't care. It doesn't bother me anything, and I'm like, I am who I am. This is me, Buford T.
That's the best way to be, young man. That's the best way to be. You are what you are. If people don't like it, they can go and whistle, and that's me being polite,
Well, it's what you see on camera right here talking with you is the same way I am off camera. It doesn't matter. I'm the exact same way. I will talk to anybody, I will become friends with anybody unless they give me a reason not to be a friend with them. So I mean, what you see is what you're getting right here.
That's it. See, that's exactly the same. I'll start again. That's exactly my train of thought as well. What you see is what you get. If you don't like it, I don't care. You know, if you're genuine with me, then I'll be totally genuine with you. And that's what I like about, these live chats as well, because, everybody on them, you can feel that they're genuine, There's no, there's nothing flamboyant or anything. You get these people who put on this false face, this persona of being flamboyant, and everybody here, yourself, Citizen, Casey, everybody. So I'll get it right eventually. Sorry, I'm Scottish. You need to give me it's a learning curve. It's a learning curve. But even as I say, everybody on the chats, you can sit and talk to them for hours basically, because they're all genuine people. There's no airs and graces. We're what we are, and we're the way God made us, and that's it. Simple as. People don't like.
Life's too short to take.
That's it. We're here for a blink of an eye, basically. The Bible says 70 years and 10 or something like that. I think I'm not sure. I've heard that before. But we're here for a blink of an eye, so we make the most of who we are and what we do in our life, and that's what it's all about, basically.
Right.
So we tuning into Age of Darkness tomorrow night. That's Ghost to Ghost. I don't know if you've watched. Been on that one. That's Chris's show. That's quite a good one. Drew will be on that as well, I think. Drew coming on with tarot cards and what have you. But no, but as you say, Sheriff, you don't live your life to please other people, but if you can, if you can, then that's all the better. But you just be yourself, just be natural, be normal. Same as in the world with paranormal, you do what you do. You don't claim to be anything special or anything. And I know you get these mediums that go on TV and say, I can do this and I can do that. But to say, as I said last week, I'm a medium, but I don't claim to be. I don't go about telling people, "Oh, I'm a medium." I can do so. I do what I do. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. As well, everybody here knows. Sometimes you get a result, sometimes you get zilch, nothing, and it's just the way the paranormal world works. But we still keep going out there and doing it in all types of weather. I dare say the weather over there is better than our weather anyway. Somewhat. But we go out day and night, rain or shine, and still do it. There's Drew saying, I love the folks here and don't want hundreds in it. Makes it hard to get to know your followers, I feel. That's true, Drew. If there's, if you get hundreds of people in and getting to know everybody's a wee bit harder. I think
that's what I say to Sheriff. I say you can tell when there's a Scot on holiday. Just look for the people that look like milk bottles.
Aye, that's true. We're the white ones with the swim shorts on, or swim costumes on.
Yeah, I'm white too.
I mean, don't get me wrong.
A ghost, and I says, "No, I'm just Scottish. Don't worry."
I always think I used to go abroad a lot, like Spain and what have you. And when the first day you arrive, you get the swim shorts on, you head down to the pool, as it probably is in America as well. You head down to the pool and you're white, and people are just staring at you because they're all brown and you're all white. But then I always get the wee smirk on my face and think, well, I might be white, but you're going home before I do. I just got here. If that makes sense. You know what I mean?
Well, my way is I might be white, but at least the tan I do have it's not a fake and bake.
Oh, you talk about
Tanning bed.
oh no. Many years ago, an ex of mine hired, I think it's when Sunbest first came out, and it was the old ones that were on a stand, and you could put them over your bed. You know, you slid it over the bed, and then you lay under it. And I tried it once, and I lasted about 2 minutes. I felt like a kebab. You know, I thought, no, it's not for me. Definitely not. But you get them here, you know, you see them, and it's not natural in Scotland because you see people maybe November, December time, and they're pure brown, you know, beautiful tan. And you think, you don't belong here. We're all white. And you know that they spent the last 2 weeks in the sun shop, the sunbed shop, you know, and you see them walking about in Glasgow Christmas shopping, and they all wear white tops so that the tan sticks out more. You know, I used to do the same. I must admit, when I used to come back for being abroad after my 2-week vacation, the first thing I did was stick a white t-shirt on and get to the shops, you know, show off a wee bit. But that was during the summer. You know, but you get these idiots in November, December with white t-shirts and a brilliant tan, and they're walking about Glasgow, and we're walking about, Citizen, as you know, and Drew, Sarah will know, we're walking about pure white with hat and scarf on and everything. You know, it's not natural.
You might be, I don't wear jackets or scarves.
Well, that's true. But no, as you say, Sheriff, you know, if you're going to get a tan, get off the sun, no a sunbed. You know, I used to drive trucks for a living, and I still get it because I drive a car. But my right arm was the most tan part of my body. The rest of me would be white, but my right arm had a brilliant tan. You know, just
that was me. My left arm.
Because you're in the left-hand drive, aye.
It's darker than my right arm.
That's the same as me. Everybody knew what you did for a living. You know, because you say, you drive a truck or you drive a van. So how do you know? Because you've only got one arm that's tanned.
Right.
And the rest is pure white. So it was a giveaway right away then, you know, they knew what you did for a living. So that took that question out of the usual conversation, what do you do for a living? Nobody ever asked me that.
Right.
Because they just looked at my arm, do you know what I mean? Anyway, that was just a wee bit of, you know, what it's like to live in Midgie land, because we're inundated with midges here as well. I don't know if you have midges over there, but by God, we get them over here. I mean, in abundance sometimes. But no, as you say, fake tan, no. That's Drew saying it's crazy on big hoop earrings. I get them as well, Drew. No, I don't wear them. You know, I don't wear big hoop earrings, not anymore. Not since I caught them on my scarf when I was out Christmas shopping. I mean, you get these people, and they wear these enormous. You probably get them in the States as well. Enormous hula hoops stuck to the side of their heads, you know. And I think it must be a competition to see who can buy the biggest hoop earring. And you know, some of them kind of trail along the ground, sort of thing. As Drew says, it's a big hoop earrings, and they just don't look right at all. Luna's saying I wear goo earrings, but not huge. Well, I don't know what a goo earring is. I don't know.
I think she means hoop earrings.
All right, hoop earrings. I'm not saying anything bad against them, Luna. Honest, I'm not, you know, slagging them off. But I'm trying to dig myself out of that hole now. I'm trying to find a weir shovel.
Oh,
Willie says the midges in Glasgow carry baseball bats. That's a bit prejudice against Glaswegians, is it not? No, I mean, they don't all carry baseball bats. Some of them carry Stanley knives. I mean, that's what some
well,
of them
Sarah,
carry in Glasgow.
it's very nice to meet y'all. I'm going to go ahead and pop on down and let y'all get to getting close to the wrap up time. I definitely will be back.
Thank you, Sheriff, for coming on, and hopefully that you do come back on. It's been good.
Sheriff,
It's
can
been
I
a
ask you a
pleasure
question?
meeting you as well, buddy. You take care, and hopefully we'll see you very soon, young man. You stay safe. All right. Thank you.
See ya.
But so that was my wee bit of Scottish humour with the suntans and that. I hope it was all right. It wasn't inappropriate content, as we get told earlier on today. I mean,
That should be fine.
you think I'll get away with that one?
Yep.
You think I'll get away with that one? So it's good to know that I look familiar to you, Oracle.
Yeah, you do. I don't know why. It's so weird.
Oracle sounds familiar when a Bob comes in.
When
I
what?
don't know.
When a Bob comes in, when you say Bob, it sounds like a commentator.
Bob? Bob? Oh, okay.
Are you not getting me mixed up with maybe Tom Cruise or Brad Pitt or something like that?
No, it's weird.
Keanu Reeves, maybe ring a bell.
I love it. You too? It looks like I've met you before. Looks so familiar.
Possibly, you know, I have been about. I mean that in a good way. I don't mean that in a bad way. I don't mean that in the the taboo sense. Shall we say?
Did you get fed up with the speed? You gone to the JCB now?
I just realised I need a big rope to climb out of this hole. I'm telling you, I need a long rope. You know what I mean? There's Luna. Luna saying you was fine. Thank you very much, Luna. Thank you very much. Willie says they have hair. Oh, the midges have hair in Glasgow. Well, Drew, at least somebody has hair in Glasgow, because it's certainly not me. You know what I mean? So, as you can see, I'm kind of lacking in that department. So, Willie says the midges have hair in Glasgow. Lucky them. I can't mind the last time. I can't remember the last time I used a brush.
I'm the same.
A hairbrush, I mean, a hairbrush.
We're going to get ready to end the stream, guys, very, very soon, because we were only meant to be on for half an hour to explain about today, but that's been 2 hours, 58 minutes.
3 hours.
2.5 hours over. Over what we intended, but it's been fun. It's been great, and I think we'll do this very, very short. Do this again very, very soon. We'll certainly be looking out for your chats and citizens and Lunars as well as everybody else who's been on tonight. A very, very big thank you. It's been great having you, and I think we've had a bit of a giggle as well as being sort of serious as well, which I think is a good thing. A wee bit of humour in with the serious stuff always kind of lightens the mood a wee bit, you know. Especially when it comes to suntans and no hair and hoop earrings.
And thank you to all our guests that have popped on, Citizen, Oracles Beyond, and Sheriff.
You're welcome.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys for having us.
No problems are welcome anytime. Remember to do a parapol on Monday, 9 PM. We'll try and keep that serious to a certain extent, you know. Maybe we'll see how we go. But we'll talk to you all very. I keep looking. You see, I'm actually using my phone in case you wondering that I keep forgetting the camera on this phone is at the top of the phone, but I'm looking at the pictures on my screen rather than I should be looking at the camera. I don't know if anyone picked up on that. So I need to remember to look at the camera like I'm doing now and not down at the pictures, if that makes sense. Anyway, folks, it's been a blast having you. I'm going to go and have a wee look at the Luna's very kindly went through the videos from today and sent us some images back. So I'm going to go and have a wee look at them, and we'll be putting them up on Facebook and hopefully YT as well. Hopefully they won't get taken off.
Yeah.
I'm
And
going to look at all the videos tomorrow that we got today, because even though the lives get took down, I've still got the footage. So I'm going to edit it all tomorrow and compile it into a video, and it will be on YouTube and our Facebook and possibly the website, possibly Instagram at some point tomorrow.
but shh, don't tell anyone.
Thank you, guys.
All right, folks, you take care and stay safe, everybody, and we'll talk to you again very, very soon.
Okay, bye,
Take
guys.
care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye. No problem. Thank you.
Bye, Scott. Got off my live stream now. Right. Bye, guys.